Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor Live FOMC report. The craziness has begun. I'm glad I'm back in. You might go, yeah, but you did a trade. You could have gotten a better price. I don't care. I do not want to be part of the nonsense as we sell off to buy back. I simply showed you how tax lots work. I sold $30,000, bought it back at a better price. I've improved my position, not trying to time the market, not trying to beat everyone, not interested. Certainly don't want to be around the noise. I walk away from the noise. I do my own thing. And that's exactly what I did. I made the point. I showed you how it worked. It's gone down further. Doesn't matter. I couldn't care less. Because all of a sudden it ticks up and you miss it. Like I always say, I'd rather be in and down than out and miss the pump. Absolutely right. I'm always in. Remember, 99% of my shares are 40% lower than this. It makes no difference to me at all. I simply sold from the top, paid no tax, did exactly on a wash, then bought back $30,000 and then my bit of cash to buy a lower down. That's what I've done. I improved my situation. As long as you're improving, as long as you're moving forward, that's all that matters. Let's get ready for the FOMC report. What a great day. We're about to get a rally. I'm pretty sure of that. Are we going to get a rate cut? Everybody says no. I say yes. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It'll be the first time I'm wrong in 18 months. If I'm wrong, I'll say sorry and I'm wrong. But we'll get it next month. It makes no difference. What's more important, whether we get a 0.25 cut or not, is do we get a dovish Fed? That will give us a rally. That's what I'm expecting. That's why I want to be in. I couldn't care less that I could have got a slightly better price. It doesn't matter at all. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's see who's here. Welcome to the show. First, James Crow, just upgraded membership. Thank you so much again. People have been upgrading memberships all day today. We got more gold now than we have silver who want that one-on-one service with me. Amazing. Nick Jones became a member. Loca became a member. Love it, love it, love it. Thomas Stark just became a member. Thank you. Tuppy just became a member. Josh Keith just upgraded their membership. It's incredible service. I can't thank you enough. Can't get it right, just became a member. Another new member. Marco just became a member. Simon Wood just became a member. Eugene McCoos just upgraded their membership. Thank you very much indeed. I just joined Discord. Thank you for the free training course. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome to all new members of the family. Hi all, says Brian. Rate cuts today, he says. No rate cut coming as Powell will wait until a total collapse happens. Don't agree with that. That wouldn't be a good idea either. I'm so used to Powell saying the same. Oh, I can't put swearing on the word. There's no need for that. Let's skip all the swearing. Okay, we don't want that. 007, I would like to see rate cuts. Rate cut today. NASDAQ bugbear bar. Don't really get that. Big red bar. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. You mean a candle. Hi all, expecting nothing, hope for the best. I think chances of a rate cut are less than 1%. What do you think, guys? We got a poll running right now. Mahir Arm just became a member. Thank you. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. No, says Ethan. No cut, that's given. Let's see. Surprise rate cut. SPY 615 today at Martyn Lucas to the moon. You're flipping right there. I never lose. 29 trades today, 29 wins. There you go. I am ready for crash greater than the last one. Are you? I wouldn't expect that. We all know to beware of the FOMO, fear of missing out, but always beware of the FOMC. I love it. Thank you, Uncle Chairman. Very good. I see what you've done there. More importantly, what colour tie we thinking? Remember, just straightening my tie there. Remember, Jerome Powell has told you time and time again, it makes no difference. I expect Powell to cut rates or to pause. Okay, you're right there. Let's go. Ready to cut rates. Dovish Powell. Let's see what happens. Let's go. Tea and chips. I don't know. RB, good morning to you. Poor man, rich man. I'm loving it. I do all my trading, my Roth IRA, and yes, absolutely right. That's right. Eugene McCombs, thank you for sharing everything on X. and everything on Blue Sky. I see it all the time. The way the market is slowly selling off right now, we just may get a cut today. What an exciting day. Let's go Lucasade, Martyn 007. Love it, love it, love it. Loka, hello everyone. Good afternoon everyone. Vaz, hi all. Frederick, hello from the UK. Jerry Mandarin, Rhino Skin. It's a big day today. Bear Trap, Martyn to Fed Chair. I love it. Hello at some trades this morning. Hard to imagine a cut while they wait and see what happens with Iran. It is crazy. You're absolutely crazy. You're absolutely right. We've got terrible wars raging and then we're all sitting here making money. I mean, the whole world's upside down, but if you don't play the game, you can't win. It's a crazy game, but it is what it is. Got more Zebic today on the dip. I was just talking to Zebic a moment ago. So a world exclusive. I was talking to Zebic a few moments ago. I was on a WhatsApp call. We have a WhatsApp group that we are in, all the team on Zebic. Let me tell you if there's been any update. We've been having a conversation backwards and forwards about logistics. That's all I can tell you. Nothing really to say on that. I mean, honestly, I would tell you everything. If there was a problem, I would tell you. Yeah, there is a conversation we're having right now on my WhatsApp between me and Simon. Simon is the COO, the Chief Operations Officer. Simon Babakani, I'm talking to him directly through WhatsApp, and we are looking at logistics for the event. I shall keep you posted with further updates. All right? It's just a backwards and forwards conversation, nothing to say, nothing to tell you about anything specific. And if there was, I would tell you. Big volume came in on the market waiting. MSK, good morning to you. Enoch, Shock, Sosh, hello. The real question is, does Trump can call Powell if he doesn't, what does Trump call Powell? Stupid plus, stupid pro, stupid upgrade? I mean, what? Stupider? More stupid? I don't know. All right. And yes, we're good to go. Right. Are you ready? Okay. We want the biggest live stream in the world for this FOMC. And that's what we want to get. You ready? So first thing we got to do is we need 100 likes to get suggested on YouTube. I'm going for 200 right out the gate. We've got 17 minutes before they announce it, and then we've got the conference, and then after the end of the conference, the press conference. That's the most important part. So are you ready? Has everyone smashed the subscribe button? We are about to hit 100,000 subscribers, and when we do, there'll be a big party for those of you that were already in. We are now at 85,898. Let's get 86,000 subscribers today. Let's love it to do it. Are you ready? Okay, let's get to 200 likes live on the show, and then we'll get straight into it. Are you ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
The year is 1991.
There's 359 watching. There it is. So the most we could get is about 175. So we're going to go. Are we going to give it 200? Do you know what? Sod it. 200. Everyone should get themselves on the Google. If you're not on Google, don't know what you're doing anyway. So let's do it. 367 watching. So 200 is extremely unlikely because only 50% are signed up, but I don't care. Let's go for it. 367. How many likes have we got? Tap the like button. Let's get there. We got 55 likes. Let's refresh the screen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are now up to 141. Bloody hell. We only need 59 to go. We'll do it. Let's listen to Wall Street. Getting ready. There we go. They're on a break. They're always on a bloody break. Everyone's always on a break in America. Drives me at the twist. All right, 141. Let's refresh it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want 200 likes straight out of the gate. Just to prove we can get more than 50%. Just to prove it, right? YouTube say you can't do it. 167. There we go. Let's go again. We've got one person down likes. Same person every time. Comes in from his silly little channel and goes down like every time he does it. Every single time. Anyway, he feels good about it. 167. As long as he feels good about it, it's all good, isn't it? 181. Flipping heck, 19 to go. And we are starting to pump up again now very quickly. Can you now see why I didn't want to be out People went, oh, you could have got a better... Couldn't care less. I got a better deal. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter. I would rather be in and be down 20, 30% and buy more than to be out and it goes up. Otherwise, I've just waited 4 years of waiting for this. Why do I want to sit around and wait? I'm always involved. I'm always getting a better deal. Right, let's see how many we got now. We need 200. 200 would be absolutely crazy. That would be more than 50%. You ready? I'm going to refresh it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, let's get 200. And what have we got? 206. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Get in. Best show on YouTube TV. I'm loving it. That's amazing. We can't ask for more than that. We can't ask for more than that. All right, let's get ready. Are we all excited? We should be excited. I'm excited. Are they on a break? Yeah, they're on a break. Everyone's on a break. Okay, here we go. Can you believe it? We've got the biggest statement of the year coming up in 15 minutes, and everyone's always taking breaks. I don't get it. Yes, we have the cut today. I can feel it. Hello, hello, hello. This will win. You're there, Martyn. Dalefish. Investing with Yestin. Investing with Yestin. I love it. What's all that about? What's going on? Investing with Yestin. Rachel and Ross were on a break. Rachel and Ross were on a break. Yeah. I was on a break. Pivot. Pivot. Can't find the like button. Yeah, you've broken it. What are you on about? Maverick. Done. Smash. Okay, let's go. Let's relax. Let's have a cup of coffee. Cheers, everybody. Have you got one of my mugs yet? You've got one of my lucky mugs. Look at that. How about that? Shooby-dooby-doo. Okay, now what we do on these big events, is we open it up to the phone line, so you can be on the call, so I can see your reactions to the Fed. You can thumbs up stuff, you can down like stuff, you can react. So here is the live video phone. It's for members only. Live video phone in. Okay, you don't require any software. I take care of all of that for you. It's done through a browser. There you go. Live video phone in. You can be live on the show. So let's do that now. Pin that to the top. We're going to get the statement in 11 minutes. Can you see now why I didn't wait for the lowest point? Can you understand that why now? It doesn't matter. I just did the tax lots and improved my position by a small amount. It doesn't really matter. But the fact is I improved my position, and I don't want to be chasing the stock up and missing out, because that will spoil the last 4 years. 29 trades, 29 wins, and then you chase the stock. I mean, what, you've waited 4 years for a final for a final explosion, and you end up chasing it, and you wipe out all the opportunity. I don't know. That would be silly. So we don't worry about that. It doesn't matter where we are today. It's where we are at the end of the day. We want to just keep lowering our prices, and we want to stay in the game, and we want to acquire more and more shares. That's essentially all we're trying to do. So let's have a quick look. Oh, by the way, yeah. So if anybody wants to call in, the live video phone in is open. You can now call in. I was 185. Cheers, family. Marvel, UNH. Yo, I just done catering an event for Juneteenth. No cut. I love it. We're talking about that earlier on today. Right. Okay. If you are calling in, you have to be a member, and you have to say you're calling in the chat. Don't just call in. I won't know who you are. I've got to see you telling me in the chat you're calling in. If you just call in, nothing happens. You'll just sit in the dark. Nothing happens. So no point calling in unless you are a member, unless you tell me you're calling in, so then I can go and look on the software. So there you go. All right. I've got I won't even look in the phone in unless you've given me your name in the chat that you're calling in. All right, so if you want to call in, let me know you're calling in. We got 10 minutes to go before the announcement is made. Is everybody ready? Is everybody excited? Woohoo! All my buying power's gone. I bought everything. I'm in 100%. It couldn't be more bullish than that. Flipping impossible. So how much have I got invested now? How flipping crazy am I now? Let's have a look. 397 plus 40. So what? 439,000 invested. Coming up to $500,000. Okie dokie. So let's rock and roll. Let's get ready. So if you want to call in, I'd love my members to be on the call so you can react to what the Fed say. Let's get a panel. We've got 10 spots. The first 10 people to call in. These are the 10 spots. Let's fill them all up. The first 10 people to call in. You can be on the call with me and reacting to whatever's going on. Be nice and quick. I want to get you all in your seats before we start the event. So let's get ready to go. Let's get ready. Good. Now, I gave you my best call of the year so far. This was this one. This was Enphase Energy. $200 stock going to $100. Was it 200? Everyone sold off because of Trump's uncertainty, and now it's so oversold. It's ridiculous. So I gave you this yesterday. I gave you the analysis. I gave you Sensei's chart, and we bought it at the bottom, and everybody, all my members who watched that video have already made money. So everybody's already up on it. And there it is. Really, really good day if you are investing and following our analysis. Okay. Jill Silverbird, I'm calling in. You're not a member. You can't call in. I'm terribly sorry. It's a member's perk. It's one of the many members' perks. You can't be on the show unless you're a member. There you go. So, Gil Silverbird, I can't answer the call to you. You're not a member of the show. We don't want... it's done to protect... from bots, trolls, people that just want to come on and shout and scream. We only have members on the show. I'm sure you can appreciate that. I'm sure you're a great person, but you're not a member, so it's not you don't get that perk. Just for those that are interested in Zebic, Saab's calling in. Saab wants to be on the call. Great, let's bring him in. My mate Saab. I love Saab. He's a great bloke. One of my mates. One of the originals. Let me just tidy his camera up a little bit. There we go. Let me bring him into the screen and interview one. Saab, how are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I think you're a bit more hopeful than I am, Martin, today. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get it with all this stuff going on. I hope so.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if we get a 0.25 today. What's important, yes, I'll be wrong and I'll say I'm wrong. First time in 18 months, okay, I'll be wrong. What I'm looking for, though, is a dovish Fed. I'm looking for the Fed to sort of... They won't say, come back here in a month and we'll lower the rates. That's not how they work. They've never done that. They won't do that. But if we get a really dovish tone and the dot plot and everything else suggests that they're very happy to cut rates. If you know you're going to cut rate in July, it makes no difference to do it now. It really doesn't, especially 0.25%. It would do nothing at all. But it's just to get that impression from the Fed that the economy is strong. We know the stock market's fine. Everyone's buying the stock market. Everybody wants the stock market to go up. There's not an issue with that. We've seen earnings. We've seen CPI. We've seen PPI. We've seen GDP. Macro conditions are what they are. Well, we've always had wars. First World War, Second World War, Cuban Missile Crisis, dot-com crashes, property, housing bubbles, all these things, they always bounce back, not because it's magic, because we make it bounce back. But at the end of the day, I just want a dovish Fed to give a little bit of polish to everything and give everyone confidence, because there's money just sat waiting to buy. So, that's my thoughts on it. We got 6 minutes to go. How do you feel it's going to go, Saab?
Yeah, so that's it. It's just that I think... Powell's just got a problem with Trump, honestly. He just reacts.
I will not bring the rates down.
And then Trump's like giving him, on the poll ceremony, Trump's like, he's just calling him names again. That doesn't help.
Yeah. Let's hope, though, that the Fed chair is a bit more grown up than going, I'm not going to reduce the rates because I'm called stupid. Really? But
yeah, we hope that. But, it looks like it just doesn't like him, That's what it just seems to me. It just seems like childish,
Yeah.
We should have had cuts. a couple of months ago, we should have had cuts already. You know, Europe's cut about 9 times or something.
Yeah. But you've got to remember, though, the US economy is very, very different than the European economy. And the way we're set up is completely different. So you can't compare. People keep saying that we should cut because Europe's cut. It's not the same at all. And that they don't have the big tariffs on them. Well, we don't have the big tariffs on us. They have it on them. So the whole system is different. So anyway, we shall see. But more importantly, I'm looking for a dovish Fed. I tell you what, if I get this right, when everybody, 100% is not a chance at all. Some are saying not until September. If I get this right, it'd be my best prediction ever. But you know, no question.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. Hope we get the cut. You know.
Well, we'll know in 4 minutes. So here we go. Here we go. There you go. CNBC are on a break. Let's see if Bloomberg decides to turn up today. It always makes me laugh. I know everyone knows they got to run on commercials, so we understand. I got commercials here, so I get it. So anyway, let me playback speed. Let me just go that double speed so we can get that up to date. You want to make sure we're not behind the curve. Here we go. I've just double speeded Bloomberg and double speeded CNBC. We got 4 minutes to go. Just under 4 minutes now. Countdown to Fed rate decision. Are you ready? This guy's like me. He always wears a bow tie. Look, there he is. Look, this chap here. This chap here. Oh, another new member. Hey.
Gil Silverbird has become a member.
Thank you very much. You said you were calling in. You can call in now because it's a member's perk. Jill Silverbird, if you want to call into the show, you certainly can be live on the show. We just have members only for all the obvious reasons. It's rallying now. Can you understand, Saab? Because you're an older, wiser investor. You've been around the block. Can you see now why I didn't wait for it to go lower and lower and lower? Did you get that?
Absolutely. Look, you achieved the goal. You took it, and there's no need to be risking $30,000 if it's going to go up. So absolutely, you took it, and that's it. Game over.
Yeah. I improved my position. I think I made about $25, nothing massive. But the point was I showed everybody how to use tax lots. I didn't pay tax on my sale, and I'm not paying tax, obviously, until I sell again. So I won both sides of the trade. 29 trades, 29 wins. And as you can see, I got it somewhere in the middle here. I think it was somewhere around about the middle here. It kept going a bit lower. Doesn't really matter, and then it shut up. I don't want to be chasing the market, and I've always said this, and I think you understand this. I think we had this discussion before. I would rather be in the stock that I own, that I bought undervalued, that I'm happy to own for 20 years, because everything I buy is the same way, and it go down and just find more money, earn more money to buy more on the way down, rather than being out and it goes up. Because after 4 years of investing, the day it suddenly explodes or something happens and I'm on the sidelines and then never comes back to that level again and I got to buy it higher, I've just wasted years of being sideways. Now I've got to buy back. That's how you lose. So I don't care that I didn't quite get the very bottom, but the point is I did improve my position, and that's it. Yeah,
you did. And you should clip that trade and put it out there.
Should be a little example, shouldn't it? This is how to do a tax lot trade and win. Yeah. Anyway, it was quite exciting though, wasn't it? If we should, like you said, we should have had some music.
Yeah. Hey, the tension was building. That was live TV. That was spot on right there, mate.
Yeah. There you go. I know how to put on a show, don't I, mate? I'm surprised I didn't have the smoke coming out and I don't know, next time I will. I'll have smoke, I'll have a hat, I'll have all sorts. I had a hat, didn't I?
I bet you didn't think of that this morning when you woke up that you're going to be doing a $30,000 trade.
No, not live. I don't like doing it live. But I've said to everybody, the day is coming, we'll have $1 million trade on the show. 1 million out, 1 million in. That's coming. By the end of the decade, I'll do that. You'll see me just trade $1 million live on the show. Be fun. That'd be fun to watch, wouldn't it? Then we'll definitely have the million Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. And then it shoots up, and then I'm out $100,000 because it's gone up 10%. Oh my God. And that certainly can happen, right? Okay, stand by, Saab. If anybody else wants to call in, join the panel. We have 9 more spots. We are 45 seconds away. Are you ready?
I think their forecast
Here we
I
go.
think it's going to be a bit of a stagflationary move. I think they're going to expect slower growth and higher inflation. And my big question is, does that mean that they move one of the rate cuts, the 2 rate cuts they have this year, one of them into 2026? I think that's what the market will be watching.
Jim Caron, what matters to you?
Well, for me, it's the baseline compared to March. Look, the unemployment rate or the forecast for 2025 from the Fed, the unemployment rate was 4.4. Right now it's 4.2. The inflation rate that the Fed is expecting for 2025 for core PCE is 2.8 from the last summary of economic projections.
4.5.
And right now it's about 2.5, 2.6.
No one is expecting a rate cut.
Is exactly what David's saying.
5 seconds
how
to
they're
go.
going to change those forecasts off of the baseline of the last summary of economic projections that was released in March. And it may just be an error adjustment,
I'm
but I don't
wrong
see
in
them
the next
doing
second.
too much different.
I'm going to ask the entire panel to stick around because the decision is in about 15 to 20 seconds. And when Jim says summary of economic projections, what he's actually saying is what they call
4.5. It's a pause. No rate cut. I was wrong. It's a pause. It's not gone up. Let's see what the market, and the market's rallying on it. So I was bloody right to be in. There it goes. But what's important is the process.
No change in the Federal Reserve funds rate, staying at a net level of 4.25% to 4.5%. Some really interesting stuff in the forecast. Let me tell you about the assessment.
This is the important part.
The economy first. They're saying the economy continues to expand at a solid pace.
Good.
Unemployment remains low.
Dovish.
Inflation is somewhat elevated. And they talk about the idea that swings in net exports, all that front running, is affecting the data. Now, the Fed forecast increased the inflation outlook. They reduced growth for 2025. This is the second step in a row that the Fed has taken toward a more stagflationary forecast of higher inflation and lower growth. The forecast shows risks are to the upside for inflation and to the downside for growth. Let me give you some numbers here. 2025 GDP. 0.4%, down from 1.7, which was down from 2.1. So pretty much a very similar drop. Core PCE, 3.1 from 2.8. This is for 2025, from 2.5. So 2 big step ups in the outlook for core PCE this year. Risks on core weighted to the upside. Unemployment, 4.5, had been 4.4 before that. 4.3, so steadily stepping up on the unemployment outlook. Now, the question you really wondered about, which is, what did they do with the outlook for rates? Still 3.9% for this year. 7 officials did not want a rate cut at all. That's up from 4 in the prior outlook, but it remained the same because some other folks came down a little bit. 2026, the conversation Brian and I were having just before at 1 o'clock, they did eliminate 1 rate cut down to 3.6 from, or sorry, up to 3.6 from 3.4. And then again, that remains in place for 2027, 3.4 from 3.1. Inflation is seen declining in 2026. That's important. We passed through it, but not as much as previously forecast. Growth recovers in 2026, but again, less than previously forecast. The Fed says uncertainty remains high about all of its forecasts. The Fed said in the statement that uncertainty has diminished, but remains elevated. But if you look at the measures of uncertainty, which we talked about at 1 o'clock with Brian, those all remain elevated. Guys, back to you.
So very quickly, Steve, back to you, kind of writing all this stuff down. Higher inflationary expectations, lower growth. You mentioned the S word, stagflation. I would imagine that makes the Federal Reserve's decision-making a little bit harder, because that is not a great combination.
No, I tell you what I'm seeing. I'm going to bring in our guests. We've got, if you want to call in, we've got 2 guests that have decided to call in. Let me go to the interview screen. Let me go over to the party screen. Here we go. One of you's got audio coming through. Silverbird, you've got audio coming through from somewhere else. So I'm just going to mute you for a moment.
Shall we then?
Yeah, I'm just going to mute you because you've got TV coming through from somewhere else. Let me just bring in, let me put Saab in spot number 8. Get everyone's reaction to this. There's Saab. Silverbird, let me go over to you. Let me make sure we've got you in the right screen. There you go. Let me just zoom out a little bit. There you go. Let me just move our notifications around because we got guests calling in today. So there we go. So I'll come back to there in a sec. Silverbird's just gone off camera for a second. All right, I want to get your reaction. What do you think? I was wrong. We did not get a pause, but what was obvious to me, listening to that, is the Fed are being political. I want to get your reaction to that. Listen to what they were just saying. Silverbird, I think I can unmute you now. No, you're playing TV in the background. I need you to be calling in through this call. You've got the TV going in the background or something, so I can't unmute you until you mute your TV. Just call in on one thing. Saab, what do you think to that, mate?
Yeah, just as we expected. Like, really, you know, that's they are just being political. Well, we don't know if they are, but it just seems that way, right?
It seems that way now. Yeah, nobody, seven didn't even want a rate cut at all. And they're talking about tariffs is inflation for higher, for longer. It's not, it's transitory. We've already proved that inflation is falling consistently, even after the reports. So this is a political thing now. Let me see if I can get, there we go. Silverbird, perfect. You've managed to mute yourself now. Great. Good afternoon. Where are you calling in from?
Norway.
Oh, wonderful. Lovely to have you there. I've played in Bergen, Solstrand, Oslo. I've been all over Norway. Very healthy people, eat a lot of fish, walk up a lot of mountains, go for walks all the time. And yes, I've entertained all over Norway. Lovely to have you here. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Oh, you're the piano man too?
Yes.
Well, you know all about Norway then, the piano bars. Yeah, I'm the world piano man. Elton John named me the world piano man years and years ago. And
congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful career. So you're a piano man too. You play the piano bars, right?
Yes, I do.
I love it.
Hurtigruten, the ships. I play on the ships in the Hurtigruten.
Yeah, I've done all the ships. Yeah, like 30, 40 years. I think nearly every cruise line in the world. But it's great to have you here, calling from Norway. So what do you feel about what you just heard on the Fed?
Well, you know, with this whole debate going on between people who don't like or like, it's a very difficult situation. The children are all divided, you know. So
yeah. What's your main investment? What are you investing in?
I have the crypto at this point,
and I have crypto.
I'm taking your advice on certain things, S&Ps in the actual market. So very soon I'll get into that.
Which is your favorite crypto? Which one are you in?
XRP.
There you go.
Yes.
We do like that here. That's one of our favorites, definitely. Great. How long have you been watching the show? I think you're quite new, aren't you? You just became a member today.
I became a member last month, but I had to cancel my card because I had some fraud, and I just canceled it. So that's why it wasn't renewed right away.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, thank you very much.
I joined last month.
Oh, hang on. What's this here?
Enoch Sosh donated $7 through a super chat. Powell/Fed is completely political, there's no doubt. Their total dislike for Trump is now completely in the open. Trump needs to call them out bigly.
It's not going to help, though, is it? It's not going to do anything. So if you've just tuned in and you're thinking, well, I can just pack up and go home now. No, you can't, because the main event hasn't even started yet. The most important thing is the conference and the news at the end, and it's what Jerome Powell says. We're going to be there live for it. The main conference starts in 22 minutes when Trump takes the stage, when Powell takes the stage, and then we get the news conference and questions. You're then going to get the tone from Powell. We know what the numbers are. We've got an indication how it's going, but it's what they say at the meeting. And if you follow these before, we've covered everyone for 4 years, you will know we get volatility. I'm glad I'm in. I'm really glad I'm in. Nothing has changed for me. As you can see, the market doesn't really know what to do with it, just carries on as normal. I'm more interested in seeing the next round of earnings, more interested in seeing the macro conditions get resolved in the Middle East. I'm happy I'm in. I was right to take the trade. I sold without paying tax. I bought back a little bit less to show you how tax lots work. I'm glad I got back in and didn't wait for a big crash or a pump or anything like that. So it's okay with me. This is an accumulation stage. Let me go back to my guess. If you want to call in, there is a link in the chat. You can call in, be on the show, and you can have your say. We've got two guests. We've got one from America and originally from India, and we've got one from Norway, which I can't believe I've got a piano player, a piano man calling in from Norway. I absolutely love it. It's just brilliant for me today. Let me end the poll because obviously we all know the answer. There's not much point talking about that anymore. But so if you'd like to call in, the link's in the chat. You've got to be a member. Let me know you're calling in. You can be on the call and you can be reacting to Powell. So Silverbird, I tell you what, I like the hair, mate. I used to have hair like that 30 years ago. You've managed to keep hold of yours. Congratulations.
I'm Apache.
I have to say,
I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
Yeah. You got that look. My wife Leah is Cherokee.
It's wonderful.
There you go.
It's a beautiful culture. It's a beautiful people.
Yeah. Great to have you on the show. She'll be watching that now. Now she's heard me say that, she'll tune in and go, "Who's this guy here?" Yeah, you got that whole look, right? I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it. Great stuff.
But what I like to say to everyone is, wake up. We're all natives. Hello.
Correct.
Earth natives.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. There's always somebody here before you, and if you go, "I was here first," there's always somebody here before you. And who the bloody hell cares who was here 5 million years ago? It doesn't make no difference to it. Earth. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Silverbird. I wish we could all come together as humans, planet Earthans, if you like, because if we start, as we will with Elon Musk, start putting people on Mars, then Earth people are all in the same team. You know what I mean? And we should think of ourselves like that. We do a lot better off, I think. Anyway, but it's wonderful to have you on the show. Great stuff.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for creating it. Really wonderful what you've done. It's amazing.
Well, I can share this with you and you'll get this completely. So I went professional at 16 as an entertainer originally, singer, entertainer, went around the world, did all kinds of things, had my own Vegas show at one point, did the Phantom of the Opera, did all kinds of things, and did the piano bars as well in between my theatre tours and all the rest of it. For fun, because it was a way for me to see the world. I've been all over the world, never paid to go anywhere. It's brilliant. Every cruise line, you've done it, right?
Yes.
So 4 years ago, and when COVID happened, I was on a tour of the US doing the $1 million tour, raising money for the Lions Club. And I was going to end up American Airlines Stadium in Dallas, 100,000 seater theatre on the last night, my big show, big show, raise $1 million for the Lions Club. It all got cancelled because of COVID and so on and so forth. And because it got cancelled and no one was working anymore, you'll know that, we all got cancelled. It was like, what do I do? Do I sit on the end of the bed and moan about it? Like, people were strumming their guitars on Facebook and people playing piano. You may have done the same thing. People going online. I thought, I want to build a TV studio to emulate what it was like when I was doing the theatre tours, the big show. That's why I've done all this lights and cameras moving and everything else. I wanted it to feel the same way, because when you're in a theatre, you don't see anybody. There's a spotlight in your eye. You don't see anybody. So this, to me, is the same. All right. So I decided to do this, and my music channel just wasn't going anywhere because my audience are in-person people that are older than me who buy tickets to come to theatre shows. They couldn't care less about YouTube. They just don't watch it. My audience are older than me. So my YouTube channel, my music was just slowly going along, not doing very much. And I thought, I need to build, what can I talk about and do that everyone's interested in? Because no one cares that Martyn Lucas singing Let It Be by Elton John. No one cares. So, or Paul McCartney rather. So I built this, and this just went nuts. This grew and grew and grew. And now this promotes my music channel, and the music promotes this. And now I've got 3 channels all growing, and now it's great. Love it.
This is fantastic. I'm proud of you. That's great.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that coming from you more than anyone. A piano man going, I'm proud of you, mate. I know what he's bloody like. You know what it's like, mate. Playing in the piano bars, right? With your little tip jar on the thing.
Yes, I do. It's like a vacation for me, because I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
So, they're paying me to enjoy myself with everyone.
That's the way I saw it.
Yeah. In every moment, when I'm playing, even if there's no one in the room, I'm going to enjoy my life.
That's right. That's right. Was you doing it as a single man or as a married man?
I'm married now.
Was you single when you were touring around?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, was you? I was single at the time. It was much better being single at the time.
You guys should do
it for me. Sorry.
You guys should do like a duet on the music channel sometime.
We should get a thing. We can sync it all up. Nice. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
How would I send you some videos I started doing with my own music as a character? I'd love for you to hear it, to get your reaction.
I would certainly. Are you on YouTube? Do you have content on YouTube?
I do have on YouTube.
You're a member, aren't you?
Yes.
Of course you are, because you called in. Hang on a minute.
Right.
Hang on, where's Silverbird? Let me just scroll up. I'm bound to find you. Where are you? Hang on. I'll do, where is it? Let me just see. Let me go to you. Oh, there he is, Silverbird. Hang on, watch this. Here we go. Watch this. Oh, yeah, you do. You got some content. I'm loving it. Right. We're going to do something now. We only normally do this for silver members, but you're special because you're a piano man. So you're straight away my best mate. Right.
Oh,
so, this is what we're going to do. All right. You're going to like this. Are you ready? Okay. What you can do is you can send your information into Discord. Have you got Discord yet?
You know, I have a problem with Discord. I don't know why, but I guess I tried Discord and I'm in it. I just don't know how to put chat.
It takes a while to get. It takes a while. I get it. Right. I'll give you the link in the chat. There's Discord. Then you can message me. You'll work it out eventually. But what I'm going to do now is this, right? If you just tuned in and you're thinking, what's going on? I want the FOMC report. You're going to get it. Have some patience. I'm talking to my new best mate. We've got the FOMC report coming up where we got the result, but we need the conference in just 15 minutes. But between now and then, we're going to do something good. All right? We're going to do something great. Okay, so what tribe was it again? Not Cherokee. Cherokee, wasn't it? Apache. I love it. When I was a kid in England, I used to have a couple. I had a cowboy and an Indian. I had Lone Ranger and I had Tonto. And we used to play. We played together like that. We had a little fort, and it was brilliant. It was. So this is great. So what I want everyone to do. This is my mate Silverbird. He's a proper native Indian. Look, he's in Norway now. And here he is, he's a piano man. And just because, for no reason whatsoever, there's his channel. I want to get him 100 subscribers. He's got 69. He's just starting out. So here we go. Everybody, how many are watching? 548. You ready for this, Silverbird? You're about to get 100 subscribers, and then you can go live and call into my show. There you go. I've put the link in the chat. Can everyone go and subscribe? He's an Apache Indian. I'm loving it. He's a musician, and we're just doing it for the sake of it. We don't have to. We're just doing it. All right. Okay. We got the FOMC report in 14 minutes. Right. He's at 69. I want to get him 100 subscribers within 1 minute. You ready? He's at 69. He's now at 74. There you go. This is your fastest ever explosion on your channel. Because when you get 100, you can actually go live. So you better go live in about 5 minutes. So there's 74. Come on, everybody. I'm not going to give up, and you know I won't. You know how stubborn I can be. I'll go on we'll miss Jerome Powell. And in fact, that's what I'll do. I will make you do it, because if you don't, you're going to miss Jerome Powell. You've got 12 minutes. There's the link in the chat. 74. There we go. How many Apache Indians? 103. There you go. You done it. I'm loving it. There you go, mate. 103.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome, mate.
Yeah. It's a good thing. I'm a person with no wants and no needs, and people feel that that's because I have everything. Breathing is everything for me.
Absolutely, you breathe, right.
Perfect success. That's
absolutely it. Right. Absolutely right. Listen, mate, you have the best life, then you die. So you might as well love every second of it. There's no point moaning. You can moan when you're dead, all right? And everybody here, the fact that we have electricity, the internet, we're able to invest some money. We're 95% richer than everybody else on planet Earth anyway.
Yeah.
And the fact we're even alive and we exist is a bloody miracle. So you might as well enjoy it as much as you can, right, mightn't you?
That's right. Absolutely.
I love it.
People say to me, how you doing? I go, I can't complain, but I do.
Oh, I moan all the time, mate. I moan all the bloody time. I'm an Englishman. We all moan. We're supposed to moan. We're built to bloody moan, mate.
There you go.
That's because the weather's terrible in England. That's why.
That's what it is. If I lived in California where it was sunny and nice all the time, it'd be brilliant, but it ain't. It's flipping rubbish. Right, okay. How long we got? We got 12 minutes to go. 129 subscribers. You'll be at 1,000 in a minute. You can get monetized.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I'm looking forward to. I have certain things that I just wanted to send you personally at some point. I have a song that I just did it this year, and my wife helped me. "Power to the People," #1 song.
Right. Yeah.
#2 song, "Time to Wake Up," and a third one, "World Peace" song. And they're pretty interesting. I like them anyway. I enjoy them.
Well, all you do is there's the link in Discord. I know it looks complicated, but it's not too bad. Click on the link, do it on your computer, verify your email, verify your number, so security. You'll get in, and you need to become. It's $2.99. Sorry about that, but it's the only way I can do it without
I
trolls.
understand.
Right,
I do understand.
and then once
Sure.
you're in, right, you can message me, friend request me at Martyn Lucas, and I will accept your friend request. When you first go in, everybody will friend request you pretending to be me. They can have the same logo, the same display name, but I'm the only one who has the username at Martyn Lucas. They've got Martyn Lucas 1, 2, 3, all the rest of it. So just be careful. And once you've got that, you've got my direct contact. You can message me. That's the only way to message me. And I'll have a listen, mate. And we'll keep in touch, me and you, mate. Got to take care of each other, haven't we? Us piano players. Yeah. Oh, yes, we got to take care of each other.
Don't blame the piano player.
Yeah, don't blame the piano player. Get out of it. Right, okay. Anyway, there we go. What great guests I've got on the show today. Can you believe it? Right, we got 9 minutes to go before we get the call. Begin. So we're very excited about that. And Gil Silverbird is now at 132 subscribers. He's absolutely crushed it. I didn't grow that quick when I started out. Bloody hell. Someone should have done that for me. Anyway, there you go. If you want to call in, you can be on the show. Just give me your name in the chat, and you have to be a member, and you too can be on today's show. Right, we're just a few moments away. We got, let me refresh the bottom screen. So we got all the different versions available to us. We've got 8 minutes to go. We want to hear what Jerome Powell says. Let me just refresh it. It takes a few seconds. Every 45 minutes, I have to do this. Ridiculous, isn't it? It's for security reasons. Right? There's always a security reason for something, isn't there? Anyway, there we go. Let's get ready to rock and roll. So we got
Dow, the NASDAQ up about 0.3 of 1%.
Let's have a quick listen to this. Let's go over to there. Whoops, Daisy.
Change on interest rates. It kept rates exactly where they were, although the projections for future rate cuts came back just a bit. In other words, we may go the full year. We don't know, may go the full year without a rate cut at all. Joining us now to talk about it all, Loretta Mester, former Cleveland Fed president, now adjunct professor of finance at the University of Wharton, also a CNBC contributor, and we are darn glad that you are here, Loretta. If you were still on the Fed, what would your
8 minutes to go, stand by,
and expectation for rate cuts be?
Yeah, I would have probably already been at one cut as opposed to two, so I may not have changed my SEP. Remember, the SEP, the one that we had before was in March, and that was before the April 2nd announcement on tariffs. So it moved kind of the way you would have expected, right? Growth, right? They took down a bit.
We'll just wait till we got a few minutes to go. Now, if you are calling in, you've got to be a member of the channel, and you've got to be, you got to let me know in the chat you are calling in. We got people trying to call in. My software will not even see you're there and look for you unless you've put your name in the chat and told me you're calling in. So we've got several people calling in and just sitting in the dark. Nothing happens. You have to tell me in the chat you're calling in with your name so I can see who you are, and then I can go and look, open the software up and bring you in. So if you want to call in, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, you're just simply sat in the dark going absolutely nowhere. All right, so we're just a few away from 86,000 subscribers. We've got just over 5 minutes to go before the call begins. If everyone could subscribe, that would be really, really great. Come on, everybody. Let's get to 86,000 on today's show. It'd be really, really exciting. So let's do that. If you haven't yet subscribed, all those that just subscribed to our Apache Indian, that would be brilliant. That would be fantastic. Subscribe to me. If you've subscribed to him and not me, I'm going to be very upset about that. So come on, sort it out. Let's get to 86,000 before the call begins. All right, here we go. Wasn't that cool? So cool. Right. If you are calling in, let me know in the chat you're calling in. I see lots of people lighting up the phone lines and you end up just sitting in the dark. All right. Okay. Let's get ready. We've got everything on standby. We've got everyone discussing it. Different fields. Have a quick listen in. Let's see what they're saying over here.
President Trump's x-axis doesn't look like Jerome Powell's. How do you explain to President Trump to have patience to get the market to normalize away from the oddities of the last 5, 6, and 7 years?
Well, I think you have to look at how things look pretty healthy right now. Yes, there are storm clouds on the horizon, but we've now been talking about them for 2 quarters, and they haven't actually materialized yet. I know housing and the labor market feel a little bit softer, but the hard data hasn't actually reflected the breakage.
Rich, come on in here. Do you agree with this? I mean, honestly, I've heard this discussion so many times. I remember back in the day when I got a mortgage at 10%, and at the same time, no one mentions the fact that their house cost about $90,000. So just saying, it was a very different time asset price-wise. Do you think...
At the table
well, no,
right
this
now.
is something that people always argue that. And I love that you said puh, but I'm just curious. Rich, from your perspective, is that something that this economy can handle?
Justin Duke says, let me just mute that a moment.
Adjustment period.
Justin Duke, you said you're calling in. Okay, please call back in again and I can bring you on the call. We got 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go to Justin Duke. Call back in again. You got to tell me you're calling in first. I can bring you into the party. We've got Silverbird and Saab here. So Justin Duke, there he goes. He's calling in now. There you go. You got to follow the rules. You got to follow the rules. Number 7. Let me put you in spot number 7. Justin Duke, good afternoon. You're live on the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing mighty well. I'm also a piano man.
No, what the heck is going on here? I love it.
Yeah, I got a piano shirt.
This is the best day ever. I can't believe it. If this carries on, I'm going to have to go and get my jacket Elton John gave me in a minute from Candle in the Wind because I'm being outstaged here by everybody. This is bloody brilliant. You're a piano man too. Where are you based from?
I'm in Dixon, Tennessee. That's close to Nashville.
I love it. I was going to say, you've got the Elvis Presley hair and everything, haven't you? Look at that. I'm dead jealous of that. Look at that. He's got all the gear.
Oh, thank you.
You're a piano man too. How come we got so many piano men on the show today? What's going on? It's like a convention.
I think I'm on the wrong show.
You know, that draws people in.
Do what, mate?
You got that charisma that draws people in.
Oh, have I? Oh, bloody hell. Okay, then. Well, fantastic. It's lovely. I don't know what's going on here. All right, this is whatever it is. I'm enjoying myself. Hey, Assad, do you play any instrument at all? Because you're just being left out here, mate. This is ridiculous. Tell me you play something. Yes, thank God for that. There you go. Whew. Normality is resumed. All right, brilliant. 2 minutes to go. Fantastic. So where have you played then, Justin, as a piano player? Where have you played?
I play the piano and the guitar, the drums. I play at church mostly.
Okay, lovely.
I do have a deal with Dolly Parton Studio in Nashville. I'm going to be playing out there, recording.
Hey, nice. Very good indeed. Bit of stand by you, man. Fantastic. I'm loving it. Are you happy with the rates today? Is it what you expected?
I kind of expected that Jerome Powell would not, cut rates. I feel like that, in my opinion, that he's doing it to spite Trump because they don't get along.
God, let's hope not. What is your investment strategy? What are you buying? What are you investing in?
I just bought Enphase, but I had NVIDIA back at 110. So
very nice.
I donated £5 through a super chat. If you call in now, you will get
1 second.
Not 2 but 3 piano men.
If you call in now, you'll get not 1 but 2 but 3 piano men. I'm loving it. We got 1.5 minutes. Sorry, you bought Nvidia. You've got what was the other stock you said you bought? Oh, you've just bought Enphase. Congratulations on that one. Good luck. This can go. You can do well on that one, I think. And it's up all day today, right, folks? We've got 1.5 minutes to go. I've now got to pay close attention. Don't want to miss it. If everybody was sitting here all day waiting for this event and they go, you missed it, just because you're talking to your mates who play the piano. We're not happy with you, mate. We're unsubscribing. We're unsubscribing. Go on then, unsubscribe. I dare you. All right, guys, stand by. And during the call, we'll come back to you and you can react. Are you happy? You're not? You can share comments and ask questions as we go. So stand by, fellas. Let's get ready. We're just seconds away now from Jerome Powell taking the stage. Here we go. All right, let's get ready to rock and roll. We've got several screens that we can call upon, so we're going to be all over the place. We'll use whichever one looks good at the time.
Or one.
So stand by.
To me, the skew is the barrier is pretty high for cutting rates right here.
I'm glad I bought back. Absolutely right. I bought back in. I improved my position.
You got an end of July
I was wrong about the rate cut.
Then you're talking about
I'm just a numbers man, and the rates should have been cut.
Is what you're rooting for.
However,
good news is good news.
Very obviously, we're pinnacle now. Here we go.
How much does the Federal Reserve even matter right now?
I don't think they matter a ton right now. It's market rates. It's like the longer-term part of the Treasury curve. And because the Fed is intentionally taking
so stand by, Jerome Powell, live on the show.
Make full use of this luxury.
He will be on time any second now. Here we go.
Patience right now because they don't see any emergency on either side of their mandate. You can argue about that,
here he comes.
But they don't see it.
I would say the man behind the curtain, but he just came around the curtain. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. Despite elevated uncertainty, the economy is in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment. Inflation has come down a great deal, but has been running somewhat above our 2% longer run objective. In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged. We believe that the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic developments. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Following growth of 2.5% last year, GDP was reported to have edged down in the first quarter, reflecting swings in net exports that were driven by businesses bringing in imports ahead of potential tariffs. This unusual swing has complicated GDP measurement. Private domestic final purchases, or PDFP as we call them, which excludes net exports, inventory investment, and government spending, grew at a solid 2.5% rate. Within PDFP, growth of consumer spending moderated, while investment in equipment and intangibles rebounded from weakness in the fourth quarter. Surveys of households and businesses, however, report a decline in sentiment over recent months and elevated uncertainty about the economic outlook, largely reflecting trade policy concerns. It remains to be seen how these developments might affect future spending and investment. In our summary of economic projections, the median participant projects GDP to rise 1.4% this year and 1.6% next year, somewhat slower than projected in March. In the labor market, conditions have remained solid. Payroll job gains averaged 135,000 per month over the past 3 months. The unemployment rate, at 4.2%, remains low and has stayed in a narrow range for the past year. Wage growth has continued to moderate while still outpacing inflation. Overall, a wide set of indicators suggests that conditions in the labor market are broadly in balance and consistent with maximum employment. The labor market is not a source of significant inflationary pressures. The median projection for the unemployment rate in the SEP is 4.5% at the end of this year and next, a bit higher than projected in March. Inflation has eased significantly from its highs in mid-2022, but remains somewhat elevated relative to our 2% longer run goal. Estimates based on the Consumer Price Index and other data indicate that total PCE prices rose 2.3% over the 12 months ending in May, and that, excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.6%. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have moved up over recent months, as reflected in both market and survey-based measures. Respondents to surveys of consumers, businesses, and professional forecasters point to tariffs as the driving factor. Beyond the next year or so, however, most measures of longer-term expectations remain consistent with our 2% inflation goal. The median projection in the SEP for total PCE inflation this year is 3%, somewhat higher than projected in March. The median inflation projection falls to 2.4% in 2026 and 2.1% in 2027. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people.
Very pleased I got back in again.
At today's meeting, the committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 4.25% to 4.5% and to continue reducing the size of our balance sheet. We will continue to determine the appropriate stance of monetary policy based on the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. Changes to trade, immigration, fiscal, and regulatory policies continue to evolve, and their effects on the economy remain uncertain. The effects of tariffs will depend, among other things, on their ultimate level. Expectations of that level, and thus of the related economic effects, reached a peak in April and have since declined. Even so, increases in tariffs this year are likely to push up prices and weigh on economic activity. The effects on inflation could be short-lived, reflecting a one-time shift in the price level. It's also possible that the inflationary effects could instead be more persistent. Avoiding that outcome will depend on the size of the tariff effects, on how long it takes for them to pass through fully into prices, and ultimately on keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our obligation is to keep longer-term inflation expectations well anchored and to prevent a one-time increase in the price level from becoming an ongoing inflation problem. As we act to meet that obligation, we will balance our maximum employment and price stability mandates, keeping in mind that without price stability, we cannot achieve the long periods of strong labor market conditions that benefit all Americans. We may find ourselves in the challenging scenario in which our dual mandate goals are in tension. If that were to occur, we would consider how far the economy is from each goal and the potentially different time horizons over which those respective gaps would be anticipated to close. For the time being, we are well positioned to wait to learn more about the likely course of the economy before considering any adjustments to our policy stance. In our SEP, FOMC participants wrote down their individual assessments of an appropriate path for the federal funds rate based on what each participant judges to be the most likely scenario going forward. The median participant projects that the appropriate level of the federal funds rate will be 3.9% at the end of this year, the same as projected in March. The median projection declines to 3.6% at the end of next year and to 3.4% at the end of 2027, a little higher than the March projection. These individual forecasts are always subject to uncertainty, and as I've noted, uncertainty is unusually elevated. And of course, these projections are not a committee plan or decision. At this meeting, the committee continued its discussions as part of our 5-year review of our monetary policy framework. We focused on issues related to assessing the risks and uncertainties that are relevant for monetary policy and the potential implications for policy strategy and communications. Our review includes outreach and public events involving a wide range of parties, including Fed Listens events around the country and a research conference that we held last month. We are open to new ideas and critical feedback, and we will take on board lessons of the last 5 years in determining our findings. We intend to wrap up any modifications to our statement on longer-run goals and monetary policy strategy by late summer. After that, we will consider enhancements to our suite of communications tools, including the SEP.
Enoch Sosh donated $5
The Fed
to a
has been
super
assigned
chat.
2 goals
Powell
for
is out
monetary
next
policy,
May.
maximum
None
employment
of this matters,
and stable
Emo.
prices.
Monetary policy
We
will
remain
change
committed
in
to
2026.
supporting maximum employment,
This is all meaningless.
bringing inflation sustainably to our 2% goal, and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission, and we at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
This is the important part where the stock could move again.
Thank you. Colby Smith with the New York Times. To what extent has the more limited impact from tariffs at this stage on inflation changed your view on what the ultimate economic fallout will be from these policies and the timing of when they will materialize in the data?
So we've had 3 months of favorable inflation readings since the high readings of January and February, and that's, of course, highly welcome news. Part of that just is that services, core services, both housing services and non-housing services, have really been grinding down toward levels that are consistent with 2% inflation. So that's the good news. We've had goods inflation just moving up a bit, and of course we expect, as you point out, we do expect to see more of that over the course of the summer. It takes some time for tariffs to work their way through the chain of distribution to the end consumer. A good example of that would be goods being sold at retailers today may have been imported several months ago before tariffs were imposed.
Correct, he's
so
right.
We're beginning to see some effects, and we do expect to see more of them over coming months. We do also see price increases in some of the relevant categories like personal computers and audiovisual equipment and things like that that are attributable to tariff increases. In addition, we look at surveys of businesses, and there are many of those, and you do see a range of things, but many companies do expect to put all or some or all of the effect of tariffs through to the next person in the chain, and ultimately to the consumer. Today, the amount of the amount of the tariff effects, the size of the tariff effects, their duration and the time it will take are all highly uncertain. So that is why we think the appropriate thing to do is to hold where we are as we learn more. And we think our policy stance is in a good place where we're well positioned to react to incoming developments.
So in terms of how we should interpret the rate cuts penciled into the SEP, is this reflecting that there's this expectation that underlying inflation will just stay well enough contained that allows the committee to eventually move ahead with those cuts? Or is it about, responding to a deterioration in economic activity, let's say? I mean, how should we make sense of the forecast?
So if you look at the forecast, you will see that people do generally expect inflation to move up and then to come back down. But we can't just assume that. Of course, we don't know that. And, our job is to make sure, one of our jobs is to make sure that a one-time increase in inflation doesn't turn into an inflation problem. And that, again, that will depend on the size of the effects, how long it takes for them to come in, and ultimately on keeping inflation expectations anchored.
Hi, and thanks, Chairperson Howard Schneider with Reuters. If you look at the rate path starting in December to today and adjusted over the full time horizon you've got there, you've taken about a quarter point per year out of your projected path, and you end at a higher rate at end 2027 than you would have in the prior forecast. Is that a result of a sense that tariffs will lead to more persistent inflation? Is it a result of reassessments of where your short-term neutral rate is? Why are you on a slower path now?
So I would focus most on the nearer term as you get out to the later years. It's hard for anybody to know where the economy is going. You didn't see people moving their longer term, estimate of the neutral rate, for example, at this meeting. So and those things are probably slow moving. So I think if you look at what's happening here since March, this is since March, right? You see a little slower growth, just a tiny tick up, a 1/10 tick up in
Obviously, I'm glad I stayed in with my improved position.
And by the way, it was a similar move from the December SEP to the March. So that's what you see. You see the effects of tariffs. I think we learned in April, after the March meeting, that substantially higher tariffs were likely. And then since then, the estimates of where the tariffs will be have actually moved back down, although still at an elevated level. So we're adapting in real time. And what you see is an accumulation of individual assessments.
You say in the statement that risks have diminished on that front, but the July 9th, drop dead date for all the Liberation Day tariffs is still out there and unresolved. You've got now exchange of missiles between two Middle East adversaries with a possible U.S. involvement. How can you justify saying that risks have diminished?
So what we said was that uncertainty uncertainty about the economic outlook has diminished but remains elevated. Many surveys say that. They do. So, and that's actually a line from the Teal book, which you can see in 5 years. Remember to check that.
Maybe the world will be over.
No, but if you think about it, tariff uncertainty really peaked in April, and since then has come down. And that's really what that's just acknowledging. It's diminished, but still elevated. And that it's uncertainty. So I think that's an accurate statement.
Thank you. Chris Rugaber at Associated Press. There is an argument out there in favor of cutting rates more immediately. Inflation has continued to cool and is back to roughly 2% despite the tariffs. And I guess I also wanted to ask about, cracks in the job market with gross hiring slowing, concentrated in just a few industries. We've seen some housing data, including this morning, that has been pretty weak. Do you see any concerns that the economy is weakening and that is a reason to cut rates going forward?
So we do of course monitor all those things. I think if you look at the overall picture, what you're seeing is 4.2% unemployment and an economy that's growing at a rate hard to know given the unusual flows in the first quarter, but it appears to be 1.5%, 2%, maybe a little better than that. Sentiment has come up off of its very low levels. It's still depressed. So you can point to things. The housing market is a longer run problem and also a short run problem. I don't think it's indicative of basically the situation is we have a longer run shortage of housing, and we also have high rates right now. I think the best thing we can do for the housing market is to restore price stability in a sustainable way and create a strong labor market, and that's the best thing we can do for the housing market. You asked about the job market. Again, look at labor force participation, look at wages, look at job creation. They're all at healthy levels now. I would say you can see perhaps a very, very slow continued cooling, but nothing
McDonald's
that's troubling
is good
at this time. But we watch it very, very carefully.
McDonald's.
So overall, again, the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way to economic developments, and for now, and we'll be watching the data carefully.
Well, just quickly on, given that there are concerns inflation will rise, but there is the alternate scenario that tariffs would create demand destruction and slow growth sufficiently, and that would perhaps keep a bit of a lid on inflation. Do you see odds of that scenario? What kind of odds do you see of that scenario coming true, and how many months of cool inflation would you need to see before concluding that maybe that lower inflation scenario is taking place?
So this is very much the conversation we had today and yesterday. There are many, many different scenarios, many combinations of scenarios where inflation does or doesn't prove out to be at the levels we think, and where the labor market does or doesn't soften. And I think what you see people doing is looking ahead at a time of very high uncertainty and writing down what they think the most likely case is. No one holds these rate paths with a great deal of conviction, and everyone would agree that they're all going to be data dependent, and that you can make a case for any of the rate paths, I think, that you see in the SEP. And we do this once a quarter. It's a hard thing to do particularly at this time, but it does reflect. If you see somebody writing down a rate path that involves cuts, that's them saying, yes, I think we will get to a place, more likely than not, where cuts will be appropriate. And it could be a joint probability of a number of possible outcomes. Again, remember how much uncertainty we face, though.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I wonder if you could describe for us some of those scenarios. How do you get to a place? I'm noticing that the uncertainty levels in your forecast are very high. How do you get to a place where you have the confidence in the outlook for, say, inflation and or growth or the unemployment rate? How many months does it take, and what do you want to see in the data to get to that level of confidence to actually reduce rates off the restrictive level?
So it's very, very hard to say when that will happen. We know that the time will come. It could come quickly. It could not come quickly. As long as the economy is solid, though, as long as we're seeing the kind of labor market that we have and reasonably decent growth and inflation moving down, we feel like the right thing to do is to be where we are, where our policy stance is, and just learn more. And in particular, we feel like we're going to learn a great deal more over the summer on tariffs. We hadn't expected them to show up much by now, and they haven't. And we will see whether, to the extent to which they do over coming months. And I think that's going to inform our thinking, for one thing. In addition, we'll see how the labor market progresses. So at some point, it will become clear. I can't tell you exactly when that will be. And meanwhile, we'll be watching the labor market very carefully for signs of weakness and strength, and tariffs for signs of what's going to happen there. And of course, there are many developments ahead. Even in the near term, developments are expected on tariffs. So I think we don't yet know with any confidence where they will settle out. We have an estimate, and it's I think all estimates are now pretty close together, but it's again highly uncertain.
When you say estimate of the impact of tariffs on the core PCE, is that what it is? And could you share that?
What you start with is what's the effective tariff rate overall, and people are managing to that. But the pass-through of tariffs to consumer price inflation is a whole process that's very uncertain. As you know, there are many parties in that chain. There's the manufacturer, the exporter, the importer, the retailer, and the consumer. And each one of those is going to be trying not to be the one to pay for the tariff. But together, they will all pay for it together, or maybe one party will pay it all. But that process is very hard to predict. And we haven't been through a situation like this. And I think we have to be humble about our ability to forecast it. So that's why we need to see some actual data to make better decisions. We'd like to get some more data. And again, in the meantime, we can do that because the economy remains in solid condition.
Nick Tamarosa of the Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, I guess I'm wondering if you could explain a little bit more the divergence we see in the dot plot, particularly around the 2025 rate projections. I realize this is, you have one group of officials that are putting down no cuts, another that are putting down more than one. And again, recognizing that could be difficult to summarize, but is it a matter of people having a different outlook or a different reaction function, a different commitment to defending against another inflation mistake? How did that play out over the last 2 days?
So you're right. This is often the case. We have a pretty healthy diversity of views on the committee. We did have strong support for today's decision and broad agreement that our policy stance does leave us in a good place. But I would point to two factors, and you mentioned them. The first is just that parties have a diversity of forecasts, and they do align with where their dots are. So if you have a higher inflation forecast, you're going to be less likely to be writing down, more cuts. But remember, as we see more data, we're going to learn more about where inflation is headed, and that means when it is time to look at resuming our normalization process, the differences you see should be smaller because we'll have seen actual data. Right now, it's just a forecast in a very foggy time. So that's the first part, is forecast. Secondly, people can look at the same data and they can evaluate the risks differently, as you know. And that includes, the risk of higher inflation, the risk that it'll be more persistent, the risk that the labor market will weaken. People are going to have different assessments of that risk. So you put that in there too. So those are the two ways that the two things I think that drive these things. Remember, though, as I mentioned earlier, with uncertainty as elevated as it is, no one holds these rate paths with a lot of conviction. So that's really where it is. It's a function of those things, and I think as the data come in, you should see those differences diminish.
If I could follow up, you've said that policy is in a good place and that it's modestly restrictive. Given all the uncertainty you just talked about, tariff levels, uncertainty around the pass-through, is it price increases versus margin compression, some of the softness that Chris talked about in labor and housing.
Let's get to 86,000 on our road to 100. Everyone tap the subscribe button. Thank you.
Of very high uncertainty.
So if you just look backward at the data, that's what you would say, but that's not. We have to be forward-looking, and the thing that every forecaster, every outside forecaster, and the Fed is saying is that we expect a meaningful amount of inflation to arrive in coming months, and we have to take that into account. So I think a backward-looking look would lead you to a neutral stance, but we can't. We have to look at that, and because the economy is still solid, we can take the time to actually see what's going to happen. there's a range of possibilities on how large the inflation effects and the other effects are going to be. So we'll make smarter and better decisions if we just wait a couple of months or however long it takes to get a sense of really what is going to be the pass-through of inflation and what's going to be the effects on spending and on hiring and all those things.
Mr. McKee.
Michael McKee from Bloomberg Radio and Television. Your friend down at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue continues to lob insults in your direction. And I'm wondering, given now that the Supreme Court has maybe carved out the Fed from some of the legal implications of that, whether this is just noise that the markets and everybody should ignore until your term is up, or whether you worry that it could lead to more pressure on confidence on Wall Street, on consumers, about the outlook for the economy.
Look, from my standpoint, it's not complicated. What everyone on the FOMC wants is a good, solid American economy with strong labor market and price stability. That's what we want. We think our policy is well positioned right now to deliver that and to be able to respond in a timely way as the data lead us around. The economy's been resilient, and part of that is our stance. And again, we think we're in a good place on that to respond to significant economic developments. That's what matters. That is what matters to us. Pretty much that's all that matters to us.
I need to ask, assuming you are not reappointed, would you stay on as governor when your term as chair ends?
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about this.
Andrew.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I guess with workplace raids increasing, picking up significantly, what kind of effect would that have on the labor market in the short term?
With what picking up?
Workplace raids.
So you're asking immigration?
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't want to speculate. One way to get at that from an economic standpoint, we of course don't comment on immigration policy. It's not ours to make or comment on. But what you see is an unemployment rate that has been really solid and at a low level, not really increasing. It's been in a good range and well within the range of mainstream estimates of maximum employment. And that means, like, part of that is that labor demand and labor supply are kind of moving down at the same rate. Labor demand is softening. You see that in job creation, but it's still kind of at a healthy level. And labor supply is diminishing because the immigration numbers that we see are much lower than they were. So those two factors, supply and demand, that's what has kept the unemployment rate in a reasonably stable place.
Okay, thanks.
We'll switch sources. We've just lost our mainstream, so we'll go to backup stream.
You suggested we're part of the framework review, I think.
So the framework review really has two tracks, right? The first track is our policy framework that is reflected in the consensus statement. And we've said that we would finish that and announce it by the end of the summer. So we're well along in that process. We've had the meetings that we need to have, and we're now going to be going into, into discussions about, specific changes to language. So that's the framework part of it. The second part of it is our communications tools and practices. Pardon me.
Whoa, market's selling off now.
That part comes next. Okay, that's what we're going to do in the meetings this fall. Actually, what we did at this meeting, though, is we had a meeting where we talked at a high level. The SEP is part of it. Many other ideas. It's sort of, how do we think our communications can be improved? There are a number of ideas. People offered a really, it was a great conversation, number of ideas, but we're going to look at those with staff briefing and a lot of thought in the fall. And I would say when it comes to changing communications, I would only support things really that only implement things that have very broad support. And also you want to be really careful because I think our communications are pretty well received. They're not broken. So more is not necessarily better, but better is better. So we're going to be looking at ways to do things that will improve the clarity of what we do for the benefit of the public.
Thanks, Chair Powell. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News. You're famously known as the guy that makes decision based on data instead of speculation. You've said today the inflation data is in a good place. We don't know how tariffs are going to impact prices going forward. That's uncertain. But I've got to go back to the last time that you cut rates in December, and there was still the what if of tariffs. So what made you feel comfortable cutting then when inflation was higher than where it is today, and you didn't cut today?
Well, the forecast for inflation in December was 2.5%. Core PCE for 2025, the forecast was 2.5%, which was a good inflation forecast. I think what we've learned is that, and this was long before we had any idea of what the actual policies would be, we've learned that the tariffs are going to be substantially larger than forecasters generally thought. And, we don't, our forecasts are generally not particularly different from those of other, well-resourced forecasting operations. So what we learned, and particularly in April, was that very substantially larger tariffs were coming, and that would mean higher inflation. That's what happened. And so you saw 2.5% forecast in December, you saw 2.8% in March, and you see 3.1% now. So it's 0.6 higher inflation for 2025, and that's a big part of the change, and that's due to the effects of the tariffs that are, we don't know where they're going to land, but it's pretty apparent they're going to land higher than outside forecasters were really guessing at the end of last year.
My follow-up to that, I think consumers, right, we're looking for relief on rates when it comes to mortgages, car loans. Small businesses want to take out more manageable loans. When you look at the cumulative inflation over the past 5 years, prices have risen over 20%. It's been a rough road. So what is the tipping point then for the wait and see approach in terms of how much it's going to help versus when it hurts the American consumer?
Well, we're trying to restore price. The best thing we can do for the public that we serve is restore price stability. If we can, and we will, restore price stability, meaning 2% inflation
this drop
on a
suits
durable,
me because on the 21st
basis.
I get paid.
That and also
I'll buy
maximum
this
employment. If we restore those things,
lower it goes,
that's the
the
best
better.
thing, and that is our goal. The best thing we can do for the American people, for households and businesses, that is the ultimate thing that we can deliver. And they can make their decisions without having to think about inflation all the time. So in the meantime, we have to keep rates high to get inflation all the way down. They're not very high, let's be honest. I would say policy is modestly or moderately, probably modestly now restrictive. If you look at the economy, it's not performing as though it were performing under very strict monetary policy, very restrictive monetary policy. So I would say probably modestly restrictive. And so what it will take is confidence that inflation is coming down. Now, I would say without tariffs, that confidence would be building, because if you see what's happening with non-housing services and housing services, which are the other two big pieces other than goods, those are coming down really nicely now. So I think we have to learn a little more about tariffs. I don't know what the right way for us to react will be. I think it's hard to know with any confidence how we should react until we see really the size of the effects, and then we can start to make a better judgment. So that's what we're doing, and I think we can take the time to do that because unemployment is 4.2%. Wages are moving up. Real wages are moving up at a healthy clip now, and inflation is 2.3% headline inflation over a 12-month basis. So it's a good economy and a solid economy with decent growth.
Thank you, Chair Powell. So you're saying that uncertainty has come down, the economy is moving at a solid pace, inflation has come down over the past 3 months, and this is all moving in the right direction. So are you indicating here that Americans should expect some sort of economic pain in the second half of the year?
I'm not saying that at all. From our standpoint, what I can say is that the U.S. economy is in solid shape. Inflation has come down. The unemployment rate remains at 4.2%. As I mentioned, real wages are moving up. It's a good job creation is at a healthy level. Unemployment, again, as I said, low. Labor force participation in a good place. So, and what we're waiting for to reduce rates is to understand what will happen with really the tariff inflation. And there's a lot of uncertainty about that. Every forecaster you can name who is a professional forecaster with adequate resources and forecasts for a living is forecasting a pretty significant. Everyone that I know is forecasting a meaningful increase in inflation in coming months from tariffs, because someone has to pay for the tariffs, and it will be someone in that chain that I mentioned between the manufacturer, the exporter, the importer, the retailer, ultimately somebody putting it into a good of some kind or just the consumer buying it. And all through that chain, people will be trying not to be the ones who pick up the cost. But ultimately, the cost of the tariff has to be paid. And some of it will fall on the end consumer. We know that because that's what businesses say. That's what the data say from past. So we know that's coming. And we just want to see a little bit of that before we make judgments prematurely.
And follow up on that. So you spent years though talking about how you're data dependent, and be a little more direct on this. Now you're making decisions looking forward. Doesn't the data you're seeing today indicate there should be a rate cut?
No, I mean,
great question.
Monetary policy has to be forward-looking. That is elementary. You've got to be looking. I always talk about the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. We say that over and over and over again, right? So it's always forward-looking. If you know, at the very beginning of the pandemic, we cut rates to zero immediately. Nothing had happened. We just knew that it was going to be really bad, right? So we took very aggressive forward-looking because we knew things were going to be unusually difficult. So, of course, this is something we sort of know is coming. We just don't know the size of it. And again, the economy seems to be in solid shape. So the labor market's not crying out for a rate cut. Businesses, were in a bit of shock after April 2, but you see business sentiment. You talk to business people now. There's a very different feeling now that people are working their way through this.
I'm completely impartial. I'm sharing everybody's comments, just so you know.
It feels much more positive and constructive than it did 3 months ago, let's say. So, again, we think that our current stance of monetary policy is in a good place.
Amira. Thank you. Amira Mokway with Bloomberg. Chair Powell, in February, you told Congress that the Fed is, quote, overworked, maybe not overstaffed. Then in a memo to staff in May announcing a deferred resignation program at the Fed, you said you wanted to ensure that the Fed was, quote, right-sized. Those two statements appear to be at odds with one another. Could you explain what changed in the roughly 3 months between those statements that made you decide that staff levels at the Fed should decline?
I don't see them at all as intention. So I was asked, is the Fed overstaffed? And I said no. And I sort of said as a pun, overworked but not overstaffed. People do work extremely hard at the Fed, and I know they work hard at Bloomberg too. So, but we do. We work hard. But I would say this. So we are careful stewards of public resources, and sometimes you need to show that. So there have been several times in our history, modern history, where the Fed has said, you know what, we're going to do a buyout. We're going to show the public. We're going to demonstrate that we are good stewards of public resources. So we thought, and I thought that this is a time when we can, we grow at about, our headcount has grown at about 1% a year. So over the course of a couple of years, we're doing a careful scrub of the board and all the reserve banks, and we're going to find 10% of employees who can do something else, where we can streamline our operations, and we think we can get there in a couple of years. We think we can do that, and we think this is without taking risk to carrying out our critical missions. So this is something you do very carefully, thoughtfully, and you do it, again, respecting that we have critical missions to carry out. I've had a lot of experience in my prior careers, with headcount reductions and things like that, and this is how you do it professionally. You do it carefully, thoughtfully, with a lot of planning, and you do it over a period of time. And I think the Fed will be fine. I think no one will notice any decline in our ability to carry out our missions, and I think it's just us wanting to demonstrate to the public that we are actually good stewards of their resources. We're effectively wiping out 10 years of headcount growth with this. So, I mean, we wanted to show that, that we're good stewards.
How is progress on reducing headcount going so far? Are you on track to meet the goal?
We're just at the very beginning. As you know, we're doing a buyout program. We're gonna hit that goal. I think many organizations find that they can do this. You don't want to do it every year or anything, but you can do it at intervals, and you wind up not interfering with your ability to perform your jobs.
Claire.
I'm Chair Powell. Claire Jones from the Financial Times. As you're no doubt aware, the Senate Finance Committee has tabled its version of the reconciliation bill this week, and I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the tenor of the debate at the FOMC over the past few days on fiscal policy and the degree to which that influenced people's projections for 2026 and beyond? Thank you.
Yeah, so, we don't sit around and debate or really discuss. We take fiscal policy as fully exogenous. And so we actually, really didn't talk about the bill or the contents of it. It's still evolving. When it gets closer, remember also we have a very, very large economy, and that the effects will be at the margin.
Pay no attention.
I expect that they may already be in, but they will be in by the next meeting. We'll make an estimate. But it's not a major thing. It's nothing that we discuss. It may have been mentioned a couple of times, but as something that's coming in. But I think the outcome is, we don't know the outcome yet there, so hard to be real specific.
Neil. Thanks, Chair Powell. Neil Irwin with Axios. There have been some cutbacks in economic statistics collection in the last few weeks, and worries that long-running problems around funding and response rates may be getting worse. How much is this concern on your radar? How much confidence do you have that the gauges you're watching to assess the economy are reliable right now?
Two things. One, the data we get right now, we can do our jobs. I'm not concerned that we can't do our jobs. That's not the point. The point really is that we are starting to see layoffs and important gatherers of data are saying that they're having to cut back on the size of their surveys. That's going to lead to more volatility in the surveys. I think we should take a step back and, from our standpoint, and I think the standpoint of businesses and governments and everyone, having really good data on the state of the economy at any given time is a huge public good. It helps, it not just doesn't help the Fed, it helps the government, it helps Congress, it helps the executive branch. More importantly, really, it helps businesses. They need to know what's going on in the economy. The United States has been a leader for many, many years in this whole project of measuring and understanding what's happening in our very large and dynamic economy. And I hate to see us cutting back on that, because it is a real benefit to the general public that people in all kinds of jobs have the best possible understanding of what's happening in the economy and hence what's likely to happen. It's very hard to measure what's going on in the U.S. economy. If you read, there was a book called, it's
I
really
can spam the
remarkable
chat
how
better than
many
anyone.
Things you need to
I'm better at
understand
anyone at this,
to
so here we
estimate
go.
U.S. GDP. Very, very difficult.
Look how fast
and
I copy
it's
and
so
paste
important
better
that
than
we
anyone.
get it right. I just would say it's not
There
a
you are.
place
Compete with that.
I would want to keep investing
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
for the good of the general public.
Victoria. Hi, Victoria Guida with Politico. So you're conducting this monetary policy strategy framework review, but next year we're supposed to have a new Fed chair, and I'm wondering if that affects at all the way that you're approaching this. How do you ensure that this framework will actually be durable?
I'll go faster.
The framework document goes back to 2012, and it's the committee's document. It's not like we're going to invent a brand new way to do things. It's been an evolving document, so it shouldn't depend on who the chair is at all. It should depend on what's happening in the economy and what the committee wants to do. So, yeah, it isn't really tied to any particular chair. And we used to renew it every year. Now we do it every 5 years. So, but I don't think I've never heard anyone raise this issue that a new chair might want to come in and go in a completely different direction. I really don't think that's right. But but that's not going to be up to me to decide.
I'll pump the smoke out, spin the chair around, I'll put the lights on.
Not at all. Not in any way.
You ain't got smoke or lights or a spinny chair.
Thank you, Chair Powell.
Or Elton
Matt
John's
Egan from
jacket.
CNN. Relatively
What else do you
low
want?
gas prices this year have helped drive down inflation in recent reports, but that trend is starting to reverse given the crisis in the Middle East. How are you thinking about how the Israel-Iran conflict will impact the economy, especially inflation, and what lessons were learned during the 2022 period when another conflict, the Russia-Ukraine war, sent oil and gas prices skyrocketing?
So, of course, we're watching like everybody else is, what's going on. I really don't have any comment on that. Possible that we'll see higher energy prices. What's tended to happen is when there's turmoil in the Middle East, you may see a spike in energy prices, but tends to come down.
The young ones are all getting a little bit excited, aren't they, Saab, in the chat? The young ones.
Lasting effects on inflation, although, of course, in the 1970s, they famously did, because you had a series of very, very large shocks. But we haven't seen anything like that now. The U.S. economy is far less dependent on foreign oil than it was back in the 1970s. So, but there.
A quick follow-up. I've just got to ask you about artificial intelligence. Some technology executives have recently been warning that AI could wipe out a large chunk of entry-level jobs and significantly increase the unemployment rate. I'm wondering how concerned you are, if at all, about the threat that AI poses to employment.
So this is the question. The question really is, will AI be more augmenting labor or replacing labor? And I wouldn't, we all see those announcements, including one today. I wouldn't, overread a couple of data points, because, AI should be creating jobs at the same time. It may be replacing, maybe doing both. Anyone who's done any work with it, with AI, will have been a little bit stunned at how capable it is. And it's just a different thing. So I think this is something that certainly has transformational potential, and probably we're in the very early stages of it. They say what you're seeing now compared to what you'll see in 2 years is going to be very different and even more effective. So I think it's really hard to know. Of course, there are optimists who feel like it's going to make everybody much more productive, and there are those who think it's going to replace an awful lot of jobs right across the income spectrum. White collar, blue collar, and everything. So I just don't know. We don't have a house view on that, but this is going to be a very important question for some time.
Great.
Thank you. Greg Rapp from MarketWatch. I was wondering if you could step back a little bit, Chair Powell. There's a spate of articles and a lot of op-eds now in the newspapers saying that the U.S. economy and the global economy is going through this profound change, akin to the end of the Bretton Woods era in the 1970s. And don't you owe the American people some sort of explanation for what we're going through? I mean, I noticed earlier this month when you talked about Bretton Woods a little bit, and you said that Bretton Woods, the Fed staff had to change how the movements of the dollar was impacting the economy. Are we going through something like that now? That, are you having to change how you do monetary policy? Is it that fundamental a change underway? Thanks.
It's a time of real change, from a geopolitical standpoint, from a trade standpoint.
Zach Zaid just called in.
From an immigration standpoint, you see this not just here, but everywhere. So there's quite a lot going on. It doesn't change the way we do monetary policy in the near term. I mean, and it doesn't change our objectives or what we need to do. And, these things are not really our issues. They're really issues for elected governments. All of those issues are really for elected governments. But there's no question it's a time of real change, and very hard to see where that goes. Will it be? There have been many things written about how it's going to be a more inflationary time. That's possible. It's not guaranteed. AI could cut in the very other direction. AI could make people much more productive and push in the other direction. I don't know, though. So, but you're right. But honestly, our focus is a much more practical one, and that is, how do we keep inflation low and employment high in the near term? That's really what we're about.
Mark.
Hello, Chairman Powell. Mark Hamrick with Bankrate. What is the view about the growing amount of slack in the job market, including the softening in payrolls, the forecast of a modest rise in the unemployment rate, and the ability of workers to demand wage hikes or not in this environment where you have inflation surging?
You don't really see unemployment going up. You don't see increased slack, really. I mean, at the margin. Remember, you're at 4.2% unemployment. That was for many, many years, that was an extremely low level. It happens to have come up off of an even lower level as we came out of the pandemic. We were as low as 3.4%, but 4.2% is probably at the low end of estimates of the longer run, sustainable level of natural rate of unemployment. So I guess I wouldn't agree with that. And also, in terms of wages, real wages after inflation have been moving up sort of more than was consistent with 2% inflation. They're still moving up at a healthy clip, and I think much more consistent with 2% inflation given a reasonable assessment of trend productivity. So it's a pretty good labor market. You're right that the level of job creation has come down, but so has the supply of workers, the change in the supply, the new supply. So you've seen the unemployment rate remain pretty stable at 4.2. It's been as high as 4.3, but those are good numbers. So it's a pretty good labor market. There's a more concerning thing is there are not a lot of layoffs, but there are not a lot of job creation. The number, if you're out of work, it's hard to find a job, but very few people are being laid off at this point. So that's an equilibrium we watch very, very carefully, because if there were to be significant layoffs and the job finding rate were to remain this low, you would have an increase in unemployment fairly quickly. But that hasn't happened. It really hasn't happened. The U.S. economy has defied all kinds of forecasts for it to weaken, really, over the last 3 years. And it's been remarkable to see just again and again when people think it's going to weaken. Now, eventually it will, but we don't see signs of that now.
Go to Jean for the last question. Hi, Chair Powell. Jean Young with MNI Market News. There's been a lot of talk about cuts. I wanted to ask you, why do you think there are no forecasts for rates to rise or even to stay where they are next year, given that the projection for inflation is to rise to 3%, and there's a lot of there's some skepticism over whether those price hikes will be a one-time event?
So there are a number of people on the committee who wrote down no cuts this year, but some cuts next year. So, I think, people are writing down their most likely path, right? They're not saying there's zero possibility of other things. Really, think of it as the least unlikely path in a situation like this where uncertainty is very high. I think, again, people write down their rate paths, and they do not have like a really high conviction that this is exactly what's going to happen over the next 2 years. No one feels that way about their rate path. They feel like, what am I going to write down? I mean, what would you write down? It's not easy to do that with confidence. So I would just say that we don't rule things in or out. Certainly a hike is not the base case at all. It's not something people are writing down. But in the meantime, we do the best we can with these forecasts, and I think they're representative of the different forecasts and different reaction functions that people on the committee have. So thank you very much. Thanks.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Another rate FOMC report done, out of the way. So obviously I've got to start by saying I was wrong. We didn't get a 0.25. Of course, nobody thought we were going to get a 0.25. But I was hoping for it. It made sense to me. It would have been good for the economy, I believe. A 0.25 wouldn't have made that much of a difference, but it would have sent a good signal. However, it's not happening. But the markets are just kind of bouncing up and down. I'm glad I did what I did this morning. I showed you the tax lot position where I sold and bought back lower, improved my position. I'm glad I didn't wait for it to fall lower because it didn't go that much lower. And I'm very glad to be back in. Like I always say, I'd rather be in. Absolutely, I'd rather be in and have it drop to buy back more, because in a few days' time I get paid on the 21st. I will buy back more if it goes down lower, rather that than be out when it goes up. So I'm 100% committed. Once again, as if you look at my overall portfolio, you can see I've got zero in the buying power. All cash, all bank, all margin, all refinanced. You couldn't be more bullish than that. I'm happy. We're still green today. Let me turn the lights back green again. There we go. And let's bring our panel into the show. All right, if you want to call in live on the show, We have some guests with us today. We have Zach Zeit here from Israel, now living, of course, in California. Here he is. We've got Justin Duke, who told you he plays the piano as well. We've got a bit of a piano convention going on here. He's even got a very fancy piano shirt. We've got Silverbird, who is an Apache. Let me just mute Zach Zeit for a second. We've got here he is, Silverbird, who is an Apache Indian, who's a piano man from Norway, and we just took his subscribers up 300% on YouTube. Yeah, brilliant.
I love you in sign language.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
This is rock and roll,
yeah.
And this is I love you.
Is that right?
So if you do this to people that you see signing, they'll be like,
I love it.
It's great.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I absolutely love that. Thank you. The markets are going back up again. What does everybody think about it? I'm happy. Obviously, I was wrong. My prediction was wrong. Sensei was enjoying saying he was right, of course. Well, it's what he does. Let's get some opinions and some thoughts. Let me unmute Zach Zeit for a moment. I had him muted there for a second. Let's go round the table. So, Justin Duke, how do you feel? Are you happy to be in? Would you rather be out?
I'm happy to be in. I'm happy. It's better to be in than to be out.
Absolutely right. Always be invested. If it goes down lower, you buy some more, and you just let it go over time. Absolutely. I did not want to be out today. I'm always invested. I'm always fully invested anyway, because the most important thing is, if you're going to be an investor, be a long-term investor is the best way, but have an engine, have an income. Too many people try to use the stock market to make money from nothing and then want it in 5 minutes, and then put the two together and you're lining yourself up for failure. If you've got an income and you keep investing and you keep buying and you keep staying in, don't sell, and understands tax lots, that's why we did it live on the show this morning, $30,000 trade, just to show you how it was done. Good. Saab, are you happy to be in?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Happy to be in. Yeah, absolutely. With this, we're doing good. We're still in a good position. The economy, by the sounds of what he's talking about, he's saying it's still looking strong. It's still looking resilient. So, kind of have to agree with him in that part, in that perspective. So it kind of gives the Fed some cards to play when things are looking like they're looking bad, instead of reacting to it. I mean, I guess they could play a few cards now, but you know what? For us just to pump our stocks and for us to make money in the markets, it'd be nice. But the economy is the most important thing, I think.
Absolutely. I'm excited because I am all in. My margin is extremely high now, and I mean it's not extremely. It's in relationship to my portfolio, all right? But it's a lot of money. So if I'm paying it now, and my dividends are covering nearly 90% of the cost of my or thereabouts of my margin cost, as it goes down, it just gets easier and easier. So this is the hardest time. It's just going to get better. What do you think, Silverbird, our Apache Indian from Norway? How do you feel today?
Well, I think that there's some kind of playing a game that's going on, But you know what? Everybody else is judging, so I'm going to stay out of it. I'm in. And that's all I care about.
No, share your opinion, share your voice. I mean, the Fed are supposed to be impartial. They're supposed to not be political. But I mean, does anyone? Let me just. I tell you what. I'll do a poll. All right, and then we'll discuss it here. Let me have a little look. Start not a Q&A, a poll. Let me do that now. Start a poll. Do you think? Powell, I'm going to say Powell is political. Just leave it like that.
Yes.
You do. So do you think Powell is political? They're not supposed to be. I've always thought he's impartial, but it does sound a little bit like I am not going to agree. And someone said earlier that Trump would help himself if he stopped calling him stupid and stuff like that, which is maybe, but he shouldn't. I mean,
like Trump doesn't help his own situation by saying keep doing that. It doesn't help.
No. Well, earlier on, we saw we saw Powell at Trump saying, I've been nice. I've invited him round for a cup of tea and dinner. That didn't work. So then I called him stupid. That didn't work. It's like, yeah, but that's not a good strategy, is it? Let's try calling everybody stupid. Now let's be nice. Everyone goes, you're just not worth anything. You're just making it all up. We don't know. We know who you are. You just whichever way you want to be on the day. So do you think Powell is political? Yes, no, or
Thank you so very much.
undecided? Let me just mute Zach. Oh no, he's good now. Yes, no, or undecided. So let me know. Do you think Powell is political? He's not supposed to be. Yes, no. So you heard Silverbird say, yes, I think he is. Zach Zeit, how are you this afternoon?
Very well, very well. Not much has changed. Everything is the same, but everybody said it nice and simple. It is a game, and you want to be in the game. I never left the game. I love this game. There is so many tools and ways to play the game. It's fascinating. Today was nothing happened and everything happened at once.
Yes, yeah. Now, this is interesting. In the first couple of seconds, 50 votes. Do you think Powell is political? 76% of you say yes. That's interesting. Very interesting, because we do have a broad spectrum here. I would probably say we have more Republicans watch our show than Democrats, but hardly any. I would say it's just about 60-40, because most people say stock market is more Republican than Democrat. Generally, people would say that people would say the Republican Party is more pro the markets, pro money. I mean, I'm not going to generalize too much, but if we get a really strong vote here, like 80+%, then my guess would be we've got Republicans saying yes, he's political, and would have a good number of Democratic viewers saying that as well. So that's quite interesting. Let's see how that pans out. 65 votes, 74% now are saying, 75% saying yes. So it's starting to look like Republicans and Democrats, at least the majority, think Powell is becoming political, at least. Justin, do you think Powell sounded political to you?
I think he's political. I think he's miffed at Trump, and that's just my opinion. But in turn, it's hurting his own self, because he could actually help the stock market, but now we're all betting on someone else that's going to take the place that I believe will do better.
Well, yes. We've got Kent Paranormal Simon saying, can I call in? Anyone can call in. There are 2, 4, 6 spots left. When they're gone, they're gone. First come, first serve. Yes, you can call in. If you are a member, you've got a badge, let me know you're calling in. You can call in. So, Simon, please feel free to call in. On what you just said there, Justin, this is my opinion on it, right? I don't think it matters too much at the moment. Traders, yeah. If you get a rate cut, it pumps, everyone makes money, takes the money out. Long-term investor, I don't really care. I am looking at the value of the businesses, the value of America, what it provides, the GDP, the PPI, the CPI, all the other stuff. Buying the S&P undervalue. You all know I went massive in when we had the V shape and bought there. I'm a long-term investor. Most of my S&P is up 30-40% from a few years ago, or at least 18 months ago, whatever it is now. So I don't think it really matters from a day trade, from an investor's point of view, what the Fed are doing. The one thing I will agree on Trump on this one about the rates. If the Fed reduced the rates, it would save the US government billions of dollars in interest payments, and it would help the economy on that. I don't care about the the input reaction to the stock market. The businesses will take care of themselves. That's how capitalism works. Businesses make money because businesses make money. You can't stop it. People will always find ways to run a business, make money, just like we all do. Like I'm sitting here working a way to provide, build a business, right? Apple will make money and Enphase and whatever. They'll always find ways to make money. The stock market is not the value of the businesses. It's just the price that people are prepared to pay on the day via trading. It's not the valuation of the business. I know we look at the market cap and go, that's the valuation of the business, but it isn't. I'm more interested in the balance sheet, the profits, the margins. That's why I called out and said Enphase Energy is probably the best business you can buy right now on the stock market, not because of interest rates or this and that and the other. Of course, interest rates affect solar because it's a big purchase, like buying a car. However, we know solar isn't going away. 100% solar isn't going away. I can talk firsthand on that. 100% certain that solar isn't going away. We know what it does. And when interest rates come down, everybody will start getting solar again. The stock will pump and it'll be too late. You'll miss it. So Enphase Energy, what I look at is the balance sheet, the debt position, how it crushes the competition, its margins. And that's why I said that Enphase Energy, and I was absolutely right. This will be proved to be one of my best calls ever. Look at it up today. It's not moving at all. In fact, it's going up on Powell's statement today. This is great. I'm absolutely loving it. This is $100 to $200 stock. It's oversold because the sort of people that buy Enphase, this got brought to a lot of retail investors by Meet Kevin, actually. He got sponsored by them. He has it on his house. And he told millions of people to buy this. And, of course, anyone who follows that sort of following, pump it, then dump it. I've got no time for those sort of people. But that's what's happened here. And it's oversold now because it's started to sell. It's just the same way as Palantir. Palantir keeps going up, so everyone keeps buying it. It's the absolute reverse. Everyone was selling Enphase, so everybody else sold Enphase, and now it's oversold. And no one's really looking at the balance sheet. And if you look at all the other companies, there was one solar business that went bankrupt a couple of weeks ago, and everyone's like all spooked out. But that's good for Enphase. That's a good thing for Enphase because it crushes the competition. And when we get rate cuts, everybody buys solar, and the business you want to be in is Enphase. So I can recognise that. So, I'm not too worried about the rate cuts. I would have liked to have seen it from the point of view it saves the government and the country money, but I'm still investing. I'm not going anywhere. Simon. Just a second, Zach. Simon's just called in. Simon, you like Mobix? I've got CEO on the show. You've seen how the stock's been bouncing on it. How are you this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I've been out of the show for quite a few weeks because of my job, but I just caught the end of Powell, and I believe 100% he's political. He doesn't like what Trump has been doing towards him and what he's been saying about him, and he's just getting back at him. I think that's what I think. 66% of our audience say that at the moment, that yes, Powell is political, but we do have, like I said before, maybe 60-40 Republican audience, Republican 60% maybe. I sense that from listening to everybody every day. So I'm not surprised with 65% because obviously everybody Republican pretty much is going to say, because if you love Trump and you believe what Trump says, you're going to say Powell's political. Democrat will probably say, no, he's not, just because they're Democrat. So if we'd have got 80, 90% political, I would say everyone is pretty much in that camp. But it's 66% at the moment of the vote. So that's interesting. 13% are not voting, though, are undecided. So it is leaning towards the majority, including a Democrat as well. So that's interesting. Yes. Talking of Mobix, though.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes. Go on.
I was going to say, talking of Mobix, have we got earnings coming up, or have I missed it?
Have we got earnings? You mean if we got an earnings call coming up? MOBX. Let's have a little look. The next Mobix earnings call is on August the 13th. No, we got quite a way off. Yes.
Did I miss it then?
You missed the last one,
I must have missed it.
I guess. Yes.
But we've got the CEO on the show at any moment. It was supposed to be this week. I'm just waiting. The date has moved because of different issues, stuff going on. Yes, Saab.
So the Treasury bills, the renewal, aren't they in August? I think they're in August, so we still have time, for them to refinance and stuff and get, make a better deal.
Yeah, there is that. Well, I mean, I said if we don't get a cut today, we'll get it next month, but I don't know now. I'm still going to stand by that because my analysis is based upon numbers, not what people are saying and all the nonsense. So I'll go rate cut again next month then, but not going to change my mind.
I believe it's
that.
coming. I believe we're going to get one. It's just
that's inevitable, isn't it? I mean, we can all predict that. So that ain't clever, mate. You got to come up with something better than that, mate. That's rubbish.
We'll still get 2 this year.
2 this year. Yep. That's what I've said all the way through. 2 this year. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you think that maybe it could be a good payday for Powell as far as he's on his way out and he's got all these people in his ear talking, don't do it. And then you have maybe the logical people saying, we should do it. And they're like, hey, look, if you don't do it, it's going to be good for you. I mean, I hate to think this way, but conspiracy seems to run out through the world, greed.
Yeah, there's all sorts of that. You got a point. Yeah, well, we should. I mean, my belief is Scott Bessent will replace because Trump puts him in as Trump put in Powell. Let's remember this is a very important argument.
Yes.
People keep saying, "Well, yeah, Trump keeps calling him stupid." Well, you put him in power actually, so let's just remember that. No, he never reminds us of that.
Yeah, but he had a lot of people next to him who were blue coats at that time. He didn't know what he was doing on this first term. So he had a lot of people turning on him that he had within the camp.
Okay.
And who knows, maybe Powell was one of them.
But I don't agree that's a good thing that he should put Bessent in, even though I think he's going to get in. And it'll be good for the money markets and everything. But that's not a good idea because he won't be independent to Trump. If Trump puts him in, he'll just do as he says.
There is that. I believe if Bessent gets in, we're going straight to 0% on rates because he wants to
what got
promote.
my attention. What got my attention was Powell talking about AI, and they're still calculating how the AI changed the market, the job situation, how I think it's going to change in the future the numbers that are following. That was something unique. He used to talk about the technology, and now the AI, which is definitely the future, is there. And I think even the AI, they still don't know where is it going, who will be the leader, and what will be the changes again that going to come. It's going to bring less jobs, but we'll have more jobs to function the AI. It will have more opportunities. I was checking for future jobs. What will be considered a good future job? If you want to teach your kids, you want to put them in a good spot, every answer will consider about AI, consulting 100%. AI, teaching AI. So he mentioned that. And it seems like he does know what is going on, but how they still don't know how to calculate it.
Yeah.
Fair comment. You're probably wondering what I'm doing. There's a good idea. There's a reason for this. Stand by, everyone. People are wondering what's Martyn doing. So some of you've seen the show before, have a good idea of what I'm doing. Well, who's it going to be? Boom. And there it is. You know what's happening? I'm taking a short little restroom break. I've been here for 12 hours. I've been going all day. Saab, it's over to you, mate.
All right, mate. Thank you very much.
I'll be back in a minute. Behave yourself. Be good.
Take your time.
I love you. I love us. I must go now, but it's wonderful to see you, brother.
That's a bad reflection on me now.
Yeah. The moment Saab came in, I'm out of here.
No, it's not that. My wife wants to start watching TV, so
I know.
All right, man.
Loved you being here, mate. See you next time. Congratulations on growing your YouTube channel. Nothing to do with me.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
I'll
be right back.
Talk soon.
So, Zach, that was a really interesting point because, yes, there are going to be loads of jobs going out of the market when AI takes over, but there's going to be a lot of new jobs that are going to be created that we still don't know what they are yet. So your point there exactly was, if you telling the future kids and other people in the job market is definitely to look into the AI and learning AI. I myself have committed myself to learning how to talk to AI, how to question it, and how to get the benefits from it. So who else has got anything on that?
Yeah, I've been taking classes on it, and it's interesting how you have to how you have to speak to the AI in order for it to project what you're telling it to do. It's very interesting, intricate, and verbal. It's like being a lawyer again.
Absolutely, and if we can get AI to, you got these AI bots to go out and start actually doing work for you, and go do jobs and research for you. You can run a lot of businesses just using AI bots.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so much to be said for it. Everybody should know it, not just the kids. I mean, the kids who are going to grow up in the future, it's going to be like second nature to them. But for us fellas, we need to get back in the market, and everybody on the chat, we need to know what the AI is going to bring. So definitely,
Education.
Justin, you have any opinion on the AI future? Justin?
Oh, I do. I don't really have that much of opinion. My opinion more like on robo taxis.
Okay, I like this. I like this.
Tesla.
Yeah.
And I'm not as much of a fan of it, but maybe it'll be a good thing. I'm a Uber driver in Nashville, so I'm concerned that in the long run, it's going to take jobs from people that really need it.
Yeah.
That are out there doing Uber and Lyft and jobs like that.
Yeah. So as an Uber driver, would it be beneficial in the future if that came in and you got a couple of cars and just sent them out of work?
Yeah, if you're like using those cars, but I'm thinking that Uber will probably be the one running those cars.
Yeah. And are Uber Uber actually looking to have self-driving cars too, right?
Yeah, they are. They're planning on it, making that an option for riders to ride with a robotic car. And Lyft is too.
Will you be able to purchase your own cars and send them out on the Uber network?
I haven't looked into that, so I have no idea.
Then you're going to get the then you're going to get the Democrats
that would be
saying
something
that
to look
cars
into.
have
Would be
rights.
beneficial.
Yep.
Thank you, Saab. You did a great job there, mate.
Thank you, sir.
Can I have a round of applause for Saab? Come on.
Yes.
Can I have my seat back now, Saab?
Go on, mate.
All right, spot on.
No, he's doing a good job. Leave him there.
Yeah, but it's my show, innit? It's my show, innit? How do I end the call from myself? I don't even know how to do that. Hang on. I know what I do. I put over here. I forgot how to do it now. How do I get myself out of that little spot there? I put that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Position number 5, and there's no one there. That's it. That's what I do. Couldn't really remember then. Right, good. So, great job there, mate. Here, here's a poll for you. $50 or a really nice go for a pee? Just saying, what's the most pleasure? I'm telling you what, if you sat here all day, I'd take going for a really nice pee over $50 every single time.
I have to say, sometimes I really it depends the situation, but yeah, when you're sitting there in the truck driving for the amount of hours or 10 hours or whatever it is, and a pee over $50.
Exactly, it's the greatest pleasure in life.
Yeah, well, you remember that commercial? You remember that commercial? How do you spell relief?
Yeah.
PISS.
It's right. I'm telling you what. Now, the young audience, The young audience, they won't get that. They'll go, give me 50 quid. Give me 50 quid. All of those over 50 are going, no way. Because we've got maybe a little bit more money, so we're not bothered so much about 50 quid, but we know how much we enjoy going for a really good pee.
That's in Europe. I call it. I'm laughing because I had that joke about it yesterday. That you need to give a euro to P. That's what euro P is.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, gentlemen, we've got 12 minutes to go before the bell goes. I'm going to stay for the bell. We might as well, because only 12 minutes to go before the bell. I'm really, really happy with my positions. I'm happy camper. Would have loved to have seen a rate cut. I think it would have been good for the government. I think people would have liked it, but it wouldn't have boomed because of it. A 1 or 2%, yeah, maybe different ball game, but a 0.25%, it's coming. Doesn't bother me. It would have saved me a couple of dollars. Actually, what would it have saved me? It would save me. I'm about $30 a day on my interest payment to margin. It might have saved me $1 a day, maybe something like that. I'm not really sure. $1.50 a day, something like that. So it doesn't really make a difference to me. It would have saved the country some money, but I'm happy. I'm happy because the overall businesses are strong, and I'm very much looking forward to the future, and we'll see what comes next. So without any hesitation, we got a little dog on the show. There we go. Love it. Without any hesitation, I'm going to say 0.25 rate cut on the next earnings, because I'm not going to change. There's no reason for me to change. It's still the same principle. It's just there. And I'll keep saying that every single call now until it actually happens. So eventually I'll be right, but there you go. Anyway, we got 10 minutes to go. The markets are looking good. Tomorrow morning, there is no show. You haven't got me tomorrow. You might have Sensei if there is any huge breaking news in crypto or XRP, because it's a bank holiday. It's Juneteenth tomorrow. The markets are closed, so that's another good sign. The fact the markets are staying up with 10 minutes to go. Bearing in mind we've got macro conditions with the Middle East. There's a good reason to sell off, because nobody wants to be hanging around the market in case Trump decided to drop a bomb on Israel. Sorry, not Israel, I beg your pardon. Iran tonight or tomorrow. Sounds bloody awful saying it, but yeah, I can see people reacting to that. But I don't expect it to happen. I can't see Iran giving up either. That's just the nature of their religion and their culture. They're not going to just go, okay, forget it, we'll give up. But let's see what happens. I've no idea where that's going to go. Anyway, it's good news. The markets are still up. We're still green. And tomorrow there's no show, so you can just get on with it without us. And then we're back on Friday. And, of course, we've got the concert on Friday night on my music channel. We have every Friday we do a live show. Did you know that? Justin, being a piano player, and Silverbird, did you know I do my concert every Friday night? Did you know that?
I haven't been able to. I've been working on Friday night.
Okay, 4 p.m. Central Time, but you can always watch the replay because it's there forever. You didn't know that, Silverbird?
Well, I know you have a show. I've watched a couple of them. Actually.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah. And I think that you should, and when you sing "Let It Be," you should sing "Let Me Pee."
Yeah, I should probably change it. Yeah, you're probably right. So here's a little taste of what you're going to get on Friday night. 10 seconds.
It's lovely.
Oh, hello. When I wake up, well, you know I'm gonna be the one who owns their bed with glee. There's Zebic and there's XRP. Thank you for the chain, built for speed, not just for fame. There you go, just a little bit of a taster of what's coming up tomorrow. I can't pay too much, I'll get copyright on this show.
I saw that one already.
Oh, you saw that one, did you? Right.
Yeah, I did.
Let me tell you the secret, Silverbird. I was asked to come up with a song for Zebic and XRP. And
because
I had
you're going to go to the show. Yeah, I know.
Yes, I am.
That's
I'm
great.
representing Zebic.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Let me just check my WhatsApp, because I've been talking to Zebic today, actually. Is there any reply to my last comment? No. We're talking
Hey,
logistics. Martyn. Yes.
Martin, didn't James write some lyrics down for a song the other day? It looked really, really good.
James
for a new song. James 007.
I think I saw something. I did. It looked good. Can you, if you find it, can you message me?
Yeah, it looked really good as well.
Was it to Let It Be? Someone wrote me a proper Let It Be lyrics to replace just me going Zebek $1 Let It Be. Yeah, there's a whole thing.
No, it's a different song, I think, completely.
Was it? Okay, let me know.
Down.
But so I'm talking to Zebek and I'm waiting for them to reply to our last correspondence. We're talking logistics. Now, just to remind everybody, we've got 7 minutes to go. I am here for my members. No one pays me. No one sponsors me. They can't say, just say good stuff. Just say good stuff. That's not how it works. I say what it is. And we're having conversations. And at the moment, I'm in a silent period, not because I can't say what I know, is there isn't anything to say. We're just chit-chatting about the next part. And once I get something, I will tell you. And if it's not good, I'll tell you. If it's great, I'll tell you. It doesn't matter.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's right. That's bloody right. Okay. And if we're not friends anymore, that's fine, because I don't have allegiance to anybody other than my members. So we're in the middle of a conversation, backwards and forwards, just talking logistics about the event. And when there's more, I will. Thank you, thank you, Silverbird. I will bring that to you as soon as I get something to say, good or bad. All right, we got 6 minutes to go before the bell goes. We're going to watch it, see how it reacts to the bell, see if we get an after hours. I don't think much is going to happen because not much has changed. Nothing politically has changed either. Obviously, Trump will come out and say he's an idiot and all the rest of it. That's inevitable. We're just waiting for that. We'll see how that pans out. Is Sensei calling in? Is Sensei calling in? Oh,
Sensei
God.
wants to come on and gloat.
He wants to come on and gloat, annoy me. Let me see if it's Sensei.
Poke you.
It might not be Sensei, though. Let me just wait and see. We get people try to call on. Let me just see.
Sensei.
Yeah, well, I have no confirmation it's Sensei yet, so I will wait for confirmation in the chat. Let me end the poll. 64% say Powell is political. So that really doesn't tell us too much, because Republicans who love Trump will say, yes, he's political, obviously. Democrats who hate Trump will say, no, he's not. If we got 80%, because I know the number of our audience is about 60-40 Republican Democrat, then it would have been an overwhelming majority. But 63% say yeah, 24% say no, and undecided 12%. Yes, it is Sensei. Right, so let's bring him in. I've got confirmation it is Sensei, so I can drop him in spot number 5. There he is. Oops-a-daisy. Sensei, I lost you. Where are you? You're not on camera. Sensei's broke it. Sensei's broke it. Try again. We've got 4 minutes to go. Bloody hell, Sensei, you're the professional. If you can't sort it out, what chance have we got here, mate? Yep. There we go. He got it right in the end. Sensei, good morning. How are you, mate?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Don't be smart.
There's only one reason I called in.
Yeah. Well, you can stick that in your pipe and smoke it. And I tell you knows all about pipes, smoking pipes. That'll be our Apache Indian at the top. You know all about that, won't you, mate? Well, I mean, I'm assuming so. I'm assuming so. I've seen the movies. Look, all I know about Apache Indians is what I've seen on the movies. I've got to be honest.
It's usually a tobacco, actually, you put in there. That's sacred tobacco that they put in there.
Is it? Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
It never looked like that on the movies.
Well, you assumed.
Was it tobacco? Is that what it was traditionally?
It's tobacco.
So how come?
When you visit an elder or a native, it's good to take them tobacco as an offering. It's very sacred.
Okay then.
Where did tobacco come from? Where did tobacco come from?
From here,
natives.
From USA, yeah.
That's right.
From
That's
Native
right.
Indian.
That's right.
We didn't abuse it.
Well, so why is it then, right? So this is great. What a great conversation. I'm talking to an Apache Indian. This is brilliant. So tell me how this works then, right? Because I know it's just the movies, so maybe the movies get it all wrong, right? And I'm from England, so when I was growing up, all I knew of America, right, was things like Superman, Tonto, and the Lone Ranger. That was America for me growing up as a kid, right? Just like the average kid in England growing up, right? So whenever you saw the chief, right, the Indian chief, he's sitting there with his pipe like that, and he's big wigwam out in the wilderness, lovely, like Dances with Wolves, all that.
Great.
They're smoking the pipe, and then they start like dreaming of things, and they tell you the future. And I always thought, oh, there's something in that. There's something in that pipe. Are you telling me it was just tobacco?
Ugh.
Good tobacco.
When you're in the teepee and you're doing it with people just greeting, it's tobacco. It's a sacred thing.
Oh, okay.
But of course you had the other, yeah.
So when they go on top of the hill and they say, I've got to go away for 2 or 3 days and I've got to predict the future, that wasn't tobacco anymore. Is that right?
It might have been peyote. I mean, who knows?
Ayahuasca.
I bloody knew it.
Ayahuasca.
I bloody knew it.
Yeah.
So what have you got to say, Sensei?
No,
Other than the
just-
obvious.
That's all I had to say was the obvious.
Is that the only reason why you called in, just to be rude and have a poke and have a
Just a smirk on his face.
that's not what you need.
No, I've got all sorts I could say. I mean, M-Phase today. What a day that was. What a prediction from you, Martyn.
Oh, I was right on that then, yeah? I was okay.
I mean, I said it first. Yeah,
You didn't
were right
say
as
it
well.
first. You didn't say it first. Your video came after mine. How did you say it first? Who brought out a
I said
video?
it was in my morning show.
I recorded the video yesterday.
It was
Yeah,
in
we
my
got
morning
enough
show.
wars.
That's where you got your news from.
I might
It's
have
all right,
watched.
Martyn.
I
Give
might
him
have
some
watched
credit.
Listen,
It's all falling down today.
I might have watched the morning show to get like inspiration for something that's going on. I thought I might have watched that, but isn't that the point of the show, to give me information, to find out stuff? And then I went for it.
I was saying it was a good prediction from both of us. You had to make it all about you, so.
Well, it's my show. Isn't
You're
it?
both amazing.
Right, enough of this. We got 20 seconds. We'll come back to Sensei in a minute. We can continue this. Don't worry, folks. He's on very thin ice. I can cancel that contract in 3 seconds. Right, here we go. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The bell has gone. That's it. Remember, we've got trading for another 3 hours on the after hours, but there's no overnight, of course, because the markets are closed tomorrow. There's no show tomorrow, Sensei. You got a day off tomorrow, but if there's something big, something happens, then you can always come live. I won't, because I don't do stuff like that. If I'm off, I'm off, right? I never come on and do extra shows. Right? Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, what's new, Sensei? What should we be thinking about over tomorrow, going into Friday? Anything you got from us coming up on your show, the newsletter or crypto or anything at all?
No, I mean, it's the market's being strange, in my opinion. It's one of those times, just in my opinion, just sit back, relax. You've got your positions. Let's see if anything major happens. Obviously, there's the market doesn't know how to price everything in at the moment. It's a bit. I've seen a lot of indecision in the markets in some of the charts we've been looking at.
I think the word you're looking for, Sensei, it's in an accumulation stage.
I don't think it is.
You don't think so?
We are no, I don't think so. I don't think we are where everyone's looking to buy. I think people are buying, people are selling. We're not. We are at a level which is quite high. We are waiting to break out of all-time highs, and as you've said, the market wants to go to all-time highs. There's just bits and bobs obviously going on around the world that is holding it back. So it does want to go up, but we need to be cautious that we are already quite high up from
Well, isn't that the definition of an accumulation stage?
Consolidation.
Sorry?
Consolidation stage.
Consolidation.
Consolidation, yeah. Consolidation. Accumulation is where you're pretty. The market's come down. It's capitulated. It's come to a low, and everyone's buying up, and everyone's getting ready for the next big run up. Consolidation is when you've already moved up a significant amount, which we've had. We're moving sideways, getting ready for the next move up.
Yeah, but that depends on your position, right? So for me, as you all know, I bought really big at the bottom of that V shape, right? I bought majority of my well, not majority. That wouldn't be true because I've been buying for 18 months. But I bought a lot of shares, a lot of my shares at that position, and now I bought some today, which is way up than that position. But I want to be in as much as possible before we break out. So I'm accumulating more.
You're accumulating, yeah. Yeah, I know that makes sense. Yeah, I guess.
I have a question for Sensei.
Of course.
Are you familiar with any coin that did reverse split or forward split?
A coin? Coins never do that.
Any coin? Graceful, never, right?
No. That would never happen, would it, Sensei? You never get a crypto coin do that.
What you can have is people voting. If you've got like a governance coin, and people can vote, they can introduce more coins into existence or burn a certain amount. So I guess it's not really a split or something, but if you are introducing a lot more coins, then it will have that same sort of effect, but not specifically.
No, that's a dilution, isn't it? When you just introduce more.
Nothing like a split or anything. I don't know. Maybe you can vote on a split and the blockchain does it somehow, but that's not something I'm familiar with.
Because remember the majority why. I'm presuming you can't do options on crypto, can you?
You can do options.
Oh, can you? So is it the same? Is it the same for a stock? You have to have 100 coins to be able to do a contract. Is that how it works?
Something similar, yeah.
Okay. Because obviously, if you've got something which is 0.0001, I mean, 100 is like 1 pence or something ridiculous.
It's certain amounts. The contracts change based on the price.
Oh, okay.
Of whatever. That's
because we all know that's how stocks work. 100 stocks give you a contract, right? Someone asked me today, actually, on your training course on Discord, would you ever consider doing any options information? Do you do options at all? I said you probably did.
I've done option trading. It's just I want to be really careful with the sort of stuff we teach, because once you go down options, yes, firstly, it's a very deep matter and it's awfully complicated. I don't know the ins and outs. Secondly, 95% of options traders lose money. So if you're trying to teach someone about options and they go out and do it, it's just the thing with the training course and why it's so great. It's not a typical trading course where I'm saying, come here, you will earn money overnight. It is for every single type of investors. It's not just for the people that want to get rich quick. In fact, I normally say that's not what we're doing here. This is about every type of investor, whether you're a trader, day trader, swing trader, long-term investor. I'm teaching you everything I know about charts, so you have a better way of have a larger degree of making success, because there's too many people out there, and we've seen it all over YouTube, we've seen it all over the X, where it's, buy this course, you'll become rich in 2 seconds, and you fail and you lose all your money and you don't have anything to invest in the future. The way we're doing this course is we're making it as cheap as possible, so every single type of investor benefits from it.
Well, it's free. It's free to the end user. I have a deal with you to produce it, so it's costing me money, but the end user gets it for free. It's included for free in our Discord premium, correct?
Yeah, for sure. It's costing us. It's costing us a lot to put this together, and what we're doing is putting it for the members and viewers. We've basically added it as an additional perk, because before you got the perks of talking on Discord, speaking to you 24/7, speaking to me, and now what we've done is just added it as an additional perk. So they're getting it, for free, and there's no competition for that. So for options, it's not something we're looking to do now, and it's.
The reason why we do that, Silverbird, is we want to be different on this channel. This is, as we've said before, I'm not a YouTuber, and it sounds silly. I'm broadcasting on YouTube TV. But like you, a piano man, I made my career as being an entertainer and musician, and I make money from investing. And I want to provide a service where I'm not selling training courses. They're free because I am successful investing. Sensei is successful trading. So we give you that for free. We don't, I just think it's just, I mean, nothing wrong with selling anything, but I just think if you are selling training courses, always the question of Are you having to sell stuff so you can make money to lose money? Whereas if we make money, we don't need to. That doesn't say we have to give it for free. We could say we're selling a training course, just like others do. But we're successful. I've grown from $5,000 to 440,000. I'm happy. I'm making enough money. So we give the course for free. I mean, it's just what we do, right? We're trying to be different in that respect.
That's what gives this channel legitimacy, though, and because the power behind that, right? So that people aren't going out and spending all this money. So it's what makes it more powerful.
Yeah, I think so too. And if I was watching this show, if I was sitting here watching it and I'm watching the guy, me, every day, and you can see my portfolio growing, I think, well, he seems to be doing all right. The channel's growing. He's making money. Sensei's charts seem to be good. They're accurate. He seems to be reliable. And they're giving me access to a free training course. It's just for $2.99. And that's not what I'm paying for. I'm getting Discord for $2.99. It kind of makes sense. And everyone can try it for 1 month. You can always cancel after $2.99 and go, the training course is rubbish. There's 4 videos now. They're all up there, and there'll be one added every single week forever. Same with Sensei's newsletter. Sensei spends hours a day bringing you the newsletter. You can try it for 7 days. We're giving you the chance to have it all singing, all dancing, and you won't just see today's report. You'll see all the reports every day since he started it for like 3 weeks ago. Read it all through. If it benefits you, you go, I'll keep it. If you don't, cancel it. I think we've made it. I think we've got it right. And that's why I think everyone's signing up. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, once again, you were speaking about options, and options are very dangerous. You can lose everything. I was a financial banker on Wall Street. So
really?
Yeah. I was there in the World Trade at 33rd floor. So
just snuck that one out
there. I understand a little bit about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's
hey, I'd love to talk to you
options, more. Yes, we should speak more. That would be nice. But options, very dangerous. You could lose everything.
Well, this is my theory on it. And I'm really glad to have met you because it reminds me of a moment when I started 4 years ago. I know how to put on a show. I know how to play the piano and sing and work lights and cameras. And I've had some success investing at the beginning, but not much. And when I came in at the end of COVID, when everything was booming, and I built this studio, and I was playing in Mark Cuban's house, the billionaire from Shark Tank. And I met some Wall Street bankers, people like you, I guess, multimillionaires and very successful people. And I went up to these guys, I always remember it, I never forget this. And I just got my YouTube channel going, and I was just going up because everything was going up. I mean, a monkey could have made money on the stock market when I started 4 years ago. It just kept going up and up. And I walked into this, I just did my gig, finished my singing. Everyone's going, oh, let me get you a drink. And I'm walking around, and the room's full of some celebrities and wealthy people. I mean, I was hired to play in Mark Cuban's house, so you can expect it, right? And I went up to these Wall Street guys, and I was going, they went, congratulations, enjoyed the singer. And I said, what do you do? I was, I've got a YouTube show now. And I told them all about it. And I was telling all about Tesla and how I knew all about it. And I knew all about rockets and Virgin Galactic and how I made all this money. And these were like multi-millionaires, like in their 50s and 60s, been on Wall Street for 30, 40 years. They managed the pit. They told me we managed the pit. And I'm there going, you should do this and you should do that. And they just smiled. Oh, yeah. You know where this is going. You know where this is going. And they smiled at me and they thought, okay, fair enough. About a year later, I was down $30,000 and I had to restart. And now I learned, and now I'm doing much better because I went back to listening to people rather than talking at people, right? So that was one of those wonderful moments. Made a right dick of myself, but there you go.
Whoever watch, if I may, it's a one Martyn Lucas. It's a one person from the morning to night. It's not a TV channel. There's no commercials. What you watch is a live person that bring everything he got in front of your screens. He share his life, and you gotta be delicate and very careful on the chat. We respect one each other, and he created the Lucas 8 family, which gives the stage, just like now. Everyone can be on the screen, share his thoughts. If you got the numbers, you can share it. We'll check it. It's not a yes or no channel. It's a together channel. Every advice, every company, there is million companies, each one of us, and there is a lot of individual. There is a lot of tribism, something that I heard last week, and tribism. People like groups of companies, people like individual company. I'm not asking you to lick the frinkles, so nobody gonna hear you eating. you can be loud and put the companies will be honest and give you the facts. I love statistics. I think also, again, the numbers work. If you look at the charts, which is Sensei, if you look at the company and the fundamental, which is Martyn, you combine a perfect combination to success. And this channel have a bright future. And if you just understand what we are watching right now, we are the future. This is the future, but as human being, and we have one person manage it, which is Martyn. So thank you so much, Martyn, again for everything you've done.
Thank you, Martyn.
Pleasure. So going back to you, Silverbird. So what capacity? What did you do at Wall Street? What did you do in the stock market?
Well, at first I was selling actually just stocks and things like this, but and they weren't very good stocks, and it was just to learning. You have to sell so many accounts, and then you have to give them to your boss when you sell the accounts. And I couldn't do that. I got up to the amount and then I left. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I went into individual trading online. So I would execute trades online for you. When you're making a trade online, I would look at your account, make sure that you could do all the things you can do and make sure it was legit. And then I would either let you have the trade or not, one of the two. But yeah.
You mentioned options. When I first started this and I started to learn about it, is I didn't like the principle of options, because the way I saw it was this, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Is I want to own. I'm a very straightforward investor, right? Once I rebalance and once I learn all the mistakes the first year of doing this and so on, and then I went back to building relationships, because that's what I do best. I've got hedge fund manager friends. I've got about 30, 40 CEOs now want to be on the show. I talk to people all the time. So, that's what the show's about. So I learn from the people at the top, right? And I learned that, for me, I want to own the businesses. I want to own a piece of the business for a long time. The business makes me money. I own it. I trim it a little bit today, like I showed you with tax lots. But essentially, I'm buying a business to own because I want it to return me an income long term. And the whole thing with options is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I always put it the same way as like going to an attorney or a lawyer or a real estate guy or whatever you might call it, and saying, I want to write a contract with the right or the obligation to buy that house at that price, but I don't act, and I pay you a fee to do that, and I may or may not buy that house, and we'll see how it goes. And if it goes down, great, I execute the order and I get the house for cheap because I committed to buying the option or whatever. And you pay a small fee for doing that. To me, that's like, I just want to buy the business, and I know what I want. I can't imagine. I know people tell me, but if you do an option, you can make more money and you can do this. And those guys advertising on Bloomberg, CNBC every day. Options, it's not an option. There's a big advert that runs every day. It's not an option. Buy options. They're trying to sell you a book and a training course and everything else. And it's like, I just want to own the business. Just own the business. I'm confident of owning the business. I don't need to take a risk or protect myself or have a contract to say I may or may not buy it. It's just not for me. And it seems too much you're predicting future prices by future dates. And at the end of the day, we don't know what a stock is going to do tomorrow. I know what the business is projected to do because I read the balance sheet. I speak to the CEO. I understand the business. I don't care. Like Warren Buffett says, I don't care when a stock that I own goes down. Like today, I didn't mind buying and it went down, as it has gone down since I bought today. I don't care because I know what I'm buying. I know what I own. I'm happy with the price. I'm happy with the valuation, and I want to own it. So for me, it's all about owning the business, not trying to guess where the price that people are prepared to pay for it tomorrow, next week, next month. I don't care. As long as it's up in value when I come to sell it or borrow against it in 20, 30 years' time, then I'm happy. And all I'm doing is looking for businesses that are undervalued, that should be worth more in the future, not because someone says so, or it's trending, or it's popular, or it's this or that or the other, because of good business sense. It produces something, makes something, it's unique, proprietary. That's why I buy businesses, and that's why I don't do options. Do you agree with any of that at all?
Well, it makes sense. If you're going to do options, just stay out of commodities because that to me is very dangerous. But as far as buying the business, that makes sense to me. I would definitely buy the stock. The stocks you've been mentioning also, and Tesla, of course, I think that's going to be tremendous in the future. But I definitely agree with you. It makes perfect sense. Sorry about that.
No, not at all. I understand you got your pet there. That's okay. Simon, you were going to... It's absolutely fine. So no problem. Simon, you put your hand up.
Yeah, I was just looking on my trades, and I've just seen that Gorilla is 16% up right now.
Very, very nice indeed. That's one you're still holding?
Yeah, I'm still holding Gorilla. It's going up quite nicely.
We might have Gorilla...
18% at the moment. Well,
we might have Gorilla on the show soon as well.
I'll be looking forward to that one.
There you go. There's a world exclusive for you. That's not planned yet, though, but I'm talking to him. Any final thoughts? Any final questions from anybody?
Well, my brothers, I'm taking off. I love us.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I thought you were going earlier. How come you stayed? You said you were going when I...
Because I didn't want to insult my brother. There,
I guilt-tripped him.
Good for you.
And that's okay. No problem.
Lovely to have you here. It's great to talk to you. We'll have a good old chat one day. We'll catch up.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too.
Brothers. All right, take care.
I love it. Yes, Sensei.
I'll give you advice.
Go ahead, Zach. I was just saying bye to our guest.
I love statistics. So I went the last 120 mega. And in the last 120 mega lottery, the number 12, 14, and 15 shows only once. So I put 12, 14, 15. I made about $250 yesterday from 12. But still 14 and 15 hasn't been shown. So next draw, 14 and 15.
You do realize whether it gets shown or not shown, every time it has the same chance of coming out as it did the last time. You know that, right?
I know, but statistics is awesome.
Not really.
I came with 12 six times.
Not really. I don't agree with that. You sound like someone who goes to the casino, as we know you do.
Yes.
We know. Yes, we know. If it's read 50 times in a row, it doesn't mean it's likely to be read the next time. It's 50-50 every single time. I like statistics that are
I don't
facts.
gamble at the casino. I play the casino.
Yeah, right.
I own the casino.
I own the casino, mate. You don't own the casino. I own the casino because I'm never in it. Bloody hell. Trying to convince me of that.
It's in your S&P, Martyn. You own the casino. Procter & Gamble. You own the casino.
I literally do. What do you mean Procter & Gamble? P&G? What do you mean?
Is that not in the S&P?
Oh, yes. Procter & Gamble. Yes, he's right. Oh, I see where you're going with that. Yeah, very good. Yeah, Procter & Gamble, that's in the S&P. Yeah. Any final thoughts from everybody before we wrap this up? Because it's been a very long day. The FOMC, another successful broadcast. I hope you all enjoyed it. Good audience. Congratulations to Sensei 2 days ago. Got the biggest breakfast show in the history of the world. 12,000 people joined into his breakfast show. Still don't know why. I think my show was way better. I had like about 8,000. I was really annoyed. 12,000 to watch Sensei in the morning with his chickens in the background. I mean, seriously, with his dodgy camera and his dodgy lights, sitting there with a hoodie. He doesn't even have a shave and put a suit and tie on. 12,000 people. Are you having a laugh?
And you got to remember that we have to be up at like 5:30 in the morning to watch him. 5:30 in the morning over here in California.
Wow.
Yep.
So you make the effort to get up early to watch it. I'm going to go that
More
early.
like
See if you get up
4:30.
for me. I'm going to see if you go early for me. Sensei, what is the secret to your success?
It wouldn't be a secret if I said it live on the show.
Chickens.
That's what I need. I need
I think everyone
chickens.
just likes that little chicken noise in the background. I think it's...
He's got a little tape recorder underneath the desk and he just plays it every now and again. That's all he does. I'm going to start doing that. It's a cheap trick.
We all love Sensei. That's what it is. We love him.
I'm getting sick of it.
You're getting old, Martyn. That's what it is.
I'm getting sick of it. If he keeps getting numbers like that, I'm gonna do the breakfast show and stick him on later. There's something about that show. It's starting to annoy me. I gave him the morning show thinking no one's going to turn up, and nobody did for a while, and now they seem to turn up. And now I'm going, hang on, I got to do something about this.
And it's the same way on the radio station. It's always the breakfast show that people love.
Yeah, well, I'll become the breakfast show, and he can become the bloody midnight have a sandwich show. I'll bloody Don't worry, I've got control of this show. If he gets too big for his boots.
You're gonna go earlier, and then I'm gonna go earlier.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Wake up at 3:30 a.m.
No, you're
breakfast.
not.
He's just started, Martin. He's building momentum yet, mate.
You wait. Friday morning, I'm going to sit here with a hoodie on. I'm going to have chickens in the background. I'm going to do everything that he does, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to talk charts. Here's Head and Shoulders. This is bound to be good, folks. Right? This looks good. This looks like
we are breaking.
This is the man on the moon line. See how it crosses the man under the bush line, which is divergence of the support level to the upside of the swing.
You've got it right, Martin. This is the thing.
Nobody will
make
know.
It up as you go. It's all random lines.
Yes.
All random.
Yes. No one will know. They'll think, what's all this? Support
That's
to the
secret.
underlying man on the rim, that man on the moon under the bush. They won't know.
There it is. That's the secret.
That's a secret. That's what I'm going to do. Look out for it Friday morning. Best show ever. 12,000.
Man, you can do all the things that he does, but you're not going to grow hair and look younger like him, you know?
I think you'll find if I put my hat on, I look 20.
Here he goes. He's going to get a wig. There we go.
There he is.
Nice,
What's up?
20 years younger.
What's up?
Yo. We need to clip that. We need to clip that one.
I'm getting sick of this. There's no need for this abuse. I didn't come here for this. Right, I put a tie on and everything. I even tied it. Look, I can actually tie a real tie. Do you know the effort I put into this? Sanjay doesn't even bother.
Just to be wrong.
Oh,
all he does, he sits there with a. Have you seen him when he starts his show? He doesn't even get his hoodie straight. He starts the show and he tweaks it as he's doing the show. Have you seen him do that? He'll go. Yeah. He doesn't even look in the mirror before the show and go, let's get that straight. I do. Yeah. 10 minutes I'm doing that.
Sometimes his t-shirt's like that.
I know. It's like that. Hello, I'm Sensei. What's going on? 12,000 views. I'm getting sick of it. That's what happens. Do you remember the commercial? In the UK? There was a thing, I think it was, Maltesers, or it might have been palm olive tooth. I don't know what it was. But anyway, these young lads, they go into a recording studio and they go, and the producer goes, you can't sing, you can't play, you look awful, you'll go a long way. Do you remember that advert? Does anybody remember that advert?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Sensei's in that area, but something's going on. Unbelievable. Right. Final thoughts, Simon, because I'm going to go because I'm getting absolutely abused here by the young crowd and I'm sick of it. Simon, carry on. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. We all look forward to the breakfast show.
Thank you very much.
No, you can shut up. Zach Zeit, final thoughts.
Beautiful day. Nothing has changed. It's like taking the roller coaster for a ride and be back to the same spot.
MSK donated
on the
£2
after
to a super
show
chat.
of the breakfast
Keep
show.
roasting Uncle Martin, lads. This is great. Lol.
Saab, final thoughts from you, please, mate.
Mate, it's good. It's been a good day. We had a good chat. It's been nice to get back on the screen again with all the lads. And I'm glad Sensei called in and stood up for himself and the Go Morning Show. We still love you, Martin.
Don't sound like it. Justin Duke. Here, Justin Duke, I'm relying on you. He's got a Piano Man t-shirt on. He's got hair like Elvis Presley. He's bound to be on my side. Justin Duke, final thoughts from you. This better be good.
It's a loaded question.
I thought it was great. I mean, I know we didn't get what we wanted today,
Paul
but
Rich
staying in the
donated
market is very
$1.99 through a super chat. Family love, that is why I keep coming here. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji, red heart emoji.
Sorry, Justin. Carry on, mate.
We didn't get what we wanted today, but overall, I'm happy with it. I'm not looking for today. I'm looking for tomorrow, the future, because we're going to go up, and I believe it.
I agree with you. You might say you didn't get what you wanted. I certainly did. I took abuse. I allowed it to continue. And then I got loads of super chats.
There you go.
Think on there. Think on there. Sensei, give me your final thoughts. Go on.
I'd like everyone to participate in the poll.
There's no poll.
There is.
Is there? What poll is there? Who the hell put this in here? Did you put this in? Who the hell put this in? Which show do you prefer? The breakfast show, the opening bell. I'm ending that bloody thing straight away. Hang on a minute.
No, it's interesting. It's interesting, Martin.
No, it's not, because the breakfast shows. Can I need.
I worded it in my favour.
Yeah, I know. I can see that the opening, but you've rigged it. You've rigged it.
No, he's put a third option where there's both, and just to say, I said both. All right, mate. So
keep poking.
I don't believe a word of it.
Good. This is good for the channel. Like we need to know what's going on.
Are you sure about that? I've got to make sure Sensei doesn't get too big for his boots. We don't want honesty on this show. We don't want honesty and transparency. That's not what we want at all. Oh no. When he comes knocking on the door going, I want a pay rise. Oh, Sensei, no one watches your show. I get 12,000 every time. No, that's all bots and trolls. They're not watching your show. Right. Hang on. Opening bell. I'm just waiting for mine to go ahead. Can everyone click opening bell show? Opening bell show. Click opening bell show, because I'm going to end the poll. Look, opening bell show, opening bell. It's 29 plays 33. Opening bell. Click on the opening bell. The moment opening bell goes up, I'm going to end the poll. Opening bell. I've got two computers over here. Hang on a minute. I've got two computers.
Look at him, he's fucking running around. Go on, Martin.
Who started? What came first, the chicken or the egg?
It had to have been a chicken, right? Because the chicken just didn't develop eggs yet, but it was just giving birth normally, and then slowly over time.
Breakfast show.
It just became.
Oh, damn it! I clicked the wrong one. I clicked breakfast show 3 times. I meant to click the opening bell.
You troll of yourself.
I know. I would have won. I can't believe I'm going to end the poll.
Anyway.
I clicked the bloody breakfast show. Bloody hell, Sonic.
Everyone screenshot that.
No, don't screenshot it. Don't screenshot it, because the trolls will love it. They'll go, I bloody knew it. I knew there was fractions in this company. Sensei's getting his mates together. They're getting a thing going.
Martin, this is good. That means you've done a great job training your new guy.
Oh, yeah. That's true, because when I pass over the show and Sensei buys it from me, it's going to cost him millions now. It's going to go up in value. So Sensei, think on, mate. What you should be doing is trashing the show, so when you can buy it for cheap and then do good. You don't want to be promoting it too much now. It's going to cost you more money.
Stock manipulation at the
finest. Stock manipulation. Then I can retire going, Sensei paid me $10 million for this show, and the moment I left, everybody unsubscribed. Brilliant.
It's just like having a robot taxi. You sit next to the drive seat.
That's right.
You never go to the drive seat anymore.
No.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. I will come in on a Sunday afternoon though. Every Sunday, that'll be the deal. Sensei will go, no, I'm owning the show now. I'm in charge. You know what he's like. The negotiations over this newsletter, you wouldn't believe it. Oh my God. What a weekend that was. It'll be like, Sensei, I want to do a Sunday show. You're not allowed. Well, I just want to come on a Sunday. I built the show to 10 million subscribers. You're not coming on a Sunday. You're too old. You're too old. You're past it now.
It's called the Martin Lucas Show, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Let me come on a Sunday.
Yeah, he said, no, I'm going to scrub it.
I'm Martin Lucas now. I'll change my name.
No one cares. You're old. You're past it. No one cares about you anymore.
I've taken.
Go practice on your music.
I'm now the world piano man.
Yeah, no one cares about piano players anymore. They're not interested in it. Bloody hell. What's the world come to? Right, I'm out of here. It's been great talking to you guys. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I love all the ribbing. Nice I got a few super chats out of it, so that's okay. Right, I'll see you back. What we're going to do is we're going to end this. We're going to send you to the extra channel. Why? Because you're going to be able to talk to each other and keep the conversation going. Redirect. There it is, the extra channel. If you've never joined in, please do. We're live there right now. It'll replay this show, so you can, for those who joined in who missed it all. Brecken says Dr. Evil. That's right. There it is. Live video phone in. Let me pin that to the top. Replace the pin. There you go. We're gonna. This is the extra channel playing right now, so it's a replay of today's show from the beginning. You can call in and be part of it. And you can carry on. The chat is live and you can support each other throughout the show. Thank you very much, guys. I love you all. I'll see you back on Friday morning. We've got the big party Friday night. And yeah, what was it? That was rock and roll. What was the love one?
No, this is I Love You. And that's rock and roll.
Oh, that's rock and roll. Oh, yeah.
That's rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's I Love You.
Brilliant. I like it. Then. Fantastic. I should. I can't do that. Don't show off. Right. I'll see you all back Friday morning. Sensei, you'll be first, won't you? With the breakfast show.
I'll be first, as always. I'll be there Friday morning show. If anything major happens tomorrow, I will be live.
No, I'll be live first. I'll be live first in the breakfast. If there's any good news, I'm going live first.
We'll go live as I made the promise. Anything happens, I'll go live. Anything major that we're always live. As you know, Martyn says he won't go live, but if anything's significant, we always go live both together. We take care of all our viewers. Do go check out the newsletter today. We've spoken about Enphase a few times over the last couple of days. The deep dive today was all about Enphase. I told you my thoughts. I told you why I'm buying. I told you all the details. You've got Martyn's video. You've got my chart analysis. The chart of the day is Enphase. I have mentioned as a warning, it can certainly go down lower, but I'll buy more if it's lower. But the whole analysis is in today's newsletter. You can go back and if you sign up for the newsletter, as Martyn said, you can go back to all the other deep dives. You can literally go to each newsletter. If you go to the deep dive section, you will learn more about different stocks, different companies, and you can read them while there's no newsletter tomorrow.
And by the way, as we're talking about newsletters, always top tip. It's an inside tip. If you want the newsletter and Sensei gives you the link out in his show, don't click on it. Wait until it's my show and I'll give you the same link, except it's my link. Click on my link. My link's better. Trust me. Take it from me. My links are better than Sensei's. Right, that's it from me. I'll see you all
They're better
back.
for Martyn. They're better for...
Yeah, they're better for me. Of course they're better for me. Of course they're better for me. It's my bloody show.
They're the same for everyone.
Right, I've just...
We need a break tomorrow.
Breakfast show, just saying.
Yeah, breakfast show. Thank you, Simon. That's the last time you get on the show. I've just had a message from Zebik because we are in backwards and forwards conversation on WhatsApp. We've got a WhatsApp group and we're talking logistics. And I messaged them about this and that and the other. And okay, let's call tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Is that Eastern or Central Daylight Time? Okay, so I might be doing something tomorrow. Let you know. Zebik are going to want to talk. This is the COO. The COO is a man called Simon Babakani. He is the Chief Operations Officer for Zebik, top man. And, London time. 9:30 a.m. London time.
You won't like that.
Hang on a minute. What time's that in the morning?
You won't like that.
That's 3 in the morning.
That's 3 in the morning for you, yeah. That's 1 a.m. for me.
That's 3:30.
You're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. You don't.
Do Sensei Chicken to wake up.
Yeah, they don't pay me any money, so I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. for me, so I can't do that.
I translated that. Sort yourself out, mate.
Yeah. If they were paying me, but they're not, I wouldn't take payments, so I'm not doing that. That's 3 a.m. for me, so I can't do that, I'm afraid. Sorry. There you go. So
nice. I like that. Hard to get, Martyn. Hard to get.
Well, I'm not gonna say today one thing and then take away tomorrow. I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm just delivering for you. Okay. I'm on CDT time. There you go. Let's see what he says to that. But they're having a meeting tomorrow. They want me to be involved in it. And let's see if they can arrange that around me. I'm the face of Zebic. They can arrange it around me. That's it, guys. That's what I'm not joking. If you don't believe me, there's my message right there. Right. That's 3 a.m. There's Simon. There you go. That's 3 a.m. for me. I'm not joking. That's real. Okay. I just told the COO of Zebic that's too early. Right. Anyway, there you go. Senzi wouldn't do stuff like that. He just does the breakfast show. That's it from me. Until next time, I'm always going to win. Guys, I love you all. Go on to the extra channel right now. See you over there. I'll let you know if there's more. Senzi will let you know. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves.
And each
other.